What is this foolishness?
How many dreams can you shape in a minute, an hour?
The kind of clean you like best.
Lost 3 of my teeth, too. All right, sir, you lost. Next time you win.
Steamy, hot, hearty, delicious, invigorating.
Folks at home, how you doing tonight? I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. I know we are. I want to welcome you to a brand new Ike Live show. We have a really, really good one for you tonight. Joining us a little later in the show, we've got 2 BASS Elite Pros, really good guys. Jason Christie is going to be joining us a little bit later in the show. And also very excited to have Luke Palmer on with us here in just a little bit. We've got a great room tonight as well for you. Want to introduce you to the co-host. Man, I want to say something. You're making this this is like the second or third show that you're the official co-host. Could this be a new permanent position for you, Riz?
You know, Mike, I think it could be.
Okay.
I mean, how hard could it be? We're out here talking fish and just hanging out. You know,
Right.
It's a good spot to be on a Sunday night. I hope we got a lot of people watching with us.
We got a lot of people watching. Of course, we do.
Always.
And here's what I want to tell you. And we love Pete. And Pete Glusick, has been the co-host of Ike Live from the very beginning. And Pete does a great job.
Oh yeah.
But insane.
But he's
Pete,
fired.
No, Pete's a busy dude.
Yeah.
Bash University's blowing up. You know that. You work with BU. Dude, he's got a lot of stuff going on. So I like you in the co-host position, Riz. This feels good.
I appreciate that, Mike. It's tough shoes to fill, though. Honestly,
Yeah.
though, because I mean, Pete's been doing this for a long time. He's a veteran.
He is a veteran, and that's the thing. Like Pete's role, Brian. We always talked about this. Pete is always like the voice of reason, and the nice guy. You're definitely not as nice as Pete.
He's a pretty nice.
You're
guy.
nice, but you're not as nice as Pete.
Right. Yeah. I guess that's something I got to work on. I gotta try to either go one side of the fence or
Right.
the other. No filter or have a filter. But
Right.
We'll get there. We'll just kind of let it play out.
Okay, I'll take that. Also with us, we've got back here at the booth. Is this even the booth anymore? What would you call this? The countertop?
Yeah, it's a countertop.
It used to be a booth. It's not even a booth anymore.
It's a peninsula.
It's a peninsula.
No, that's not the right label.
I like it. At the
Go ahead.
peninsula, we've got Jake. How you doing tonight?
Good.
Doing some IMs, running the board for us.
Yeah, they're rolling in pretty hot.
That's good. Okay.
What were some of the names Dave had for Jake?
Chalk Demon.
Chalk Demon.
Chalk Demon?
Chalk Demon.
And I get Zako when I call Brian.
Zake.
Zako.
Zake's a good one.
Zake.
Yeah, Zake's a good
Chalk Demon.
one. Chalk Demon, I like. And then
Assistant producer.
Assistant producer, yeah. And then producing the show tonight, Brian Carpenter. How you doing tonight, Brian?
I'm all right, man. I'm here.
I know. We all look
Doing
very
good.
we all look very tired. I know I do. I looked in the mirror before I came out here. I'm like, man, I look tired.
How cold.
And I am tired. I am tired.
Is
I'm
this
tired.
the first show since the Classic?
This is the first show since the Classic.
We've
Yeah.
all been kind of all over the freaking place.
We've been all over
honestly.
the place. We've been busy.
Yeah.
Life's busy. And then today, Sunday in my house now are sports days.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
So, the kids are at the age where we just do the rounds. So I was in Mount Laurel. I was in Morristown. I was in Pittman.
Oh wow.
It was a day of sports. And today was bitter cold
Yes.
outside, dude.
Yes.
Today was not a day you wanted to be outside. So,
Awesome weather we're having.
How old are
coming.
your kids?
so Stella's 9. Vegas is 10. Drew is 23 and Riley's 21.
Well,
so,
yeah, I meant the kids.
Yeah, I
into
mean, they're at that
sports.
age just where they're busy with it,
Right.
Why they got to run you all over the place? They're 9 and 10. Can't we get a game against a town across the way?
Yeah.
Like right there.
Yeah, like right in the street.
Yeah.
Put the goals in the street.
Yeah.
Game on.
Out in the cornfield.
Car comes by. Game off.
Yeah, the
Car.
It's swarm ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like. brrrr.
Oh, yeah.
You don't even know the score.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
No, it's funny because just in 3 or 4 years with Vegas, when he started soccer, when he was 7 or 8 or whatever, it was herd ball. and it was hard.
Herd ball.
It was hard to watch.
Yeah.
And Stella's like that now with lacrosse. This is only
Yeah.
her second year of lacrosse, and she's still young. And it's kind of like you're like in the sidelines. Oh my God! Like, please, would you get the ball? Get the ball! It's right there. I'm saying that in my mind because I don't want to be the crazy parent. But Vegas, in a short period of time, dude, it's actual soccer now, which is really cool.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually
Still
soccer.
could have probably played the next town over, but
Probably.
you know.
No more community holes.
He does the
Right.
It's the travel
Travel
soccer,
league.
right?
They're
Yeah.
playing township league and a travel league, both of them. So it's a lot of
Gotcha.
extra games.
Yep.
And,
A lot of extra driving.
but yeah, but
That's
it's
good.
awesome.
Keep them moving. Keep them active.
Keep moving. But if I look tired tonight, don't hold it against me. But we do have a great show. Once again, Luke Palmer, Jason Christie on. Powerbait Paul joining us in the third segment. Of course, we're doing a MTB unboxing in the third segment. And why are we doing that? Because Mystery Tackle Box is the title sponsor of this podcast, man.
That's right.
Check them out, man. It's like Christmas at your doorstep. Once a month, come straight to your door. Brian, we got any specials going, Mystery Tackle Box? What do we got going on? Here it goes.
We do.
Yeah. Go to mysterytacklebox.com. If you buy 2 months of it, you're going to get the third month free. That's a great little offer for you. Buy 2 months, get the third free. Check it out. I promise you, once you get your first box, you're never going to go away from it. It's a great little deal.
Yep, and the Ike Live code is still there. I believe it's half off the first month. Is
Yeah.
that what it is?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
half off the,
Use
50% off.
There you go.
Yeah.
Use that promo code Ike Live.
Perfect time to get into it too.
Yes,
I
it
mean,
is.
springtime. So.
Also brought to you by Founders Beer. We love
yeah.
Founders. We're going to be talking a little bit about our Founders Ike Live after party here in a second.
Oh,
but
yeah.
we're drinking a little combo tonight. If you're at home drinking Founders with us, we're drinking a little combo of a regular all-day IPA, and I'm drinking the all-day vacay. So it's a great beer. Please check them out. Tin Cup Whiskey, Brian, has been a sponsor last few years of Ike Life. Great, great company to work with. Thinking about the sport. I see all kinds of notes here. They're doing tons of stuff with conservation. But here's an interesting thing. Not many people know this. I didn't know this until today.
What?
What is today?
It's National Whiskey Day.
What?
National Whiskey Day.
National Whiskey Day. And Jake, in honor of National Whiskey Day, you put together some beautiful cocktails for us.
And
Do you
giant
wanna-
glasses.
Do you want to
Giant glasses.
describe this cocktail you put together using Tin Cup Whiskey? You want to describe what you did here for us?
You got tin cup regular,
Tin Cup Regular,
club soda,
Club Soda.
eyeball to 2 eyeballs on that.
Eyeball to 2 eyeballs.
Yep.
Okay.
And then splash of lemon
Splash of lemon
Splash-
and ice.
and ice.
On
You
the
know
rocks.
what the
Hot
name
ice.
of this is called?
What is this
Official
called?
name for the drink?
The Zako?
It's the Snakebite Sweetwater Motel.
Oh!
Yeah. Yeah, Snakebite, man.
I think I've stayed at that hotel before.
once or twice.
That's the one with the red carpet? The
Yep.
black and white TV?
Oh,
I had-
yeah.
So cheers, everybody. It's National Whiskey Day. It's good. Cheers, guys. Cheers to you. Oh, yeah.
Hits you nice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Uh-huh.
Jake, nice job on that.
Thank you.
Bartending tonight. Tending bar.
Is there actually lemon in there?
Yeah, it's in. I left it in the truck.
Okay.
It's good
supposed
without
to
it.
be.
man.
It's supposed
I'm
to
with
be.
you. It's
Is this
perfect
blue
right
label
like that.
or
I like
is
it.
this blue label or green label?
Blue.
Blue, yeah. I mean, they're both good. It's just,
Yeah, the
you
green's the rye.
know. Yeah, gotcha.
I like it.
Different kind of a whiskey.
Also brought to you by Bass University. If you're trying to learn more about techniques in the sport of bass fishing, check them out. They've got some great offers going on all the time. Tackle Warehouse. Last but not least, everybody I know shops Tackle Warehouse. I'm serious. I'm not kidding you.
Yeah.
I know I do. And be making a Tackle Warehouse order this week to get some stuff for Vegas. Because Vegas is, trying to, now that he's got a feel for what he wants to do in the derb, I'm going to put together a little TW order for him to make sure he has multiple baits. That's the worst thing, dude.
Right.
Gone into a tournament with one lure, like especially if it's a plug, like a crankbait or rattle
Oh,
trap, or something,
yeah.
and you have one in that color. It's the worst feeling in the world, dude.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that to him.
I don't
then
know
you
if it's the
stock
worst.
up.
It's
you
pretty
know?
bad, though.
I mean, not getting a bite all day is probably worse.
That's pretty bad, too. That is pretty
But
bad, too.
yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. Let me remind you, I know you know the routine, but for our first-time viewers, if you happen to be watching over on Facebook, we do this great promo every week. All you have to do, if you're watching over on Facebook with us, like and share the feed. Like and share the feed. If you do that, we're going to enter you in a chance to win the world-famous Ike Life gift bag. It's 20 pounds of Ike Life sponsor products, a lot of cool swag in there. Like and share the feed. That's all you got to do. In the third segment, Jake, We're going to pick a winner, and it's going to be super, super good.
Yeah, we're gonna tease it up too, Mike.
Yes.
With
yes.
some more stuff.
By the way, I do want to mention for everybody watching and listening right now, I know you can't wait. We've got Luke coming on in just a little bit. And then, of course, in the second segment, Jason Christie coming on. I know you're excited. We're going to be giving away some AFTCO gear, Brian the Carpenter.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Because Jason's coming on. Jason's been working with AFTCO from the very
Jason.
beginning. He's designed some amazing products for AFTCO, including a Reaper deal, a hoodie deal. He's got some great clothing with AFTCO. And we're going to give away some of that stuff tonight. Am I correct?
Yes.
5 of the Jason Christie signature pieces. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Wow.
5. Yep.
5 of the signature.
One for each of us here in the room.
We're giving it away to ourselves.
I wish.
But seriously, follow along tonight. And I think, Brian, the way we'll do it is
We've got some ideas.
we got some ideas.
Yeah.
Okay. Questions? What are we going to
So,
do,
so we
Jay?
got 2 going to questions.
Okay.
We got another going out for another like and share. So make
Okay.
sure you hit that Facebook
Like and share. Yeah.
Yes.
And we got some questions related to the show. We're going to be asked for trivia questions.
Oh, a little trivia.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's how we'll get to our 5.
And that's 5.
Yeah, we're gonna try to pull one from YouTube,
Maybe.
maybe.
YouTube. Okay.
Yeah,
It's happening, though.
a comment.
It's happening,
If
baby.
you send info in. Yeah.
That's right. Well,
It
yeah.
is happening.
High quality gear.
Yeah. Before we get the show started, I want to say thank you to our military, men and women, active veterans. Thank you, guys, for what you do. It's a crazy world. Policemen or firemen or EMT, thank you, guys. Definitely appreciate your service. But I drew out at Santee, by the way, I drew out with 2 military guys. Each day I had
no kidding.
a guy that was in 2 different branches of the service. So we appreciate you guys, what you do. Big news, Brian. Let's do a little catch-up. Big
Yes.
news. Let's just
Uh-oh.
start with this one, because this is very timely. Literally, I got to watch it. So Stella's playing lacrosse, and I have on my phone right there as I'm watching the MLF Live,
Yeah.
getting to watch the Redbreast Championship
Mhm.
at Grand Lake. And I watched it unfold before my eyes. There it goes, like a couple, 2-3 minutes left. Bobby Lane's down. I think he was 6 ounces down, and about like 2 minutes to go. I'm not kidding. Like it was 2 or 3 minutes.
Who's leading?
We had
Wheeler?
Jacob Wheeler was leading. I think
Cannell?
Cannell was in second. It was Bobby, and then it was
Clausen?
Luke Clausen. And I'm watching this thing, and I'm like, God, and you could feel, they're like 2 boxing it, 4 boxing it, whatever. You could feel the
Tension.
I could feel the tension in the air.
Rising
Can you
up.
feel it? I felt it. I
In your-
did feel it.
Down in your plums?
I felt it in my plums.
Ooh.
And I saw, like, Bobby was super focused. Like, you almost look at him. He's very, Bobby's, like, very matter-of-fact all the time. He's like, well, I'm going to run in this fucking pocket over here. And, he's always talking, and he's always like that.
Yeah.
But he was very uncharacteristically quiet.
Yeah.
and
What was he?
focused, and I noticed that.
What was he fishing? What
So he cranked most of the day, and then in the last period, he got a big jig bite. He got a 6-pound jig bite, and that sort of refocused him to fishing a jig behind docks.
Ooh.
And
Behind
like
docks.
yeah, like behind docks. And I think these were
Mhm.
like new fish that were just starting to set up. Anyway, I'm watching it. 2-3 minutes ago, hooks up with one. I'm like, oh my God, this could be it. But when he's fighting, I'm like, God, it's going to be like super close. The minimum for this event, they set
Yep.
that dumb minimum thing that they started because everybody bitched about the little fish. Whatever. I hate that whole thing. But anyway, minimum was 2 pounds. And
Okay.
when he swung it, I'm like,
Ooh.
right there. Dude, it's like you could hear, the broadcast, you could hear millions of hearts pounding, a needle drop from here to Texas. It didn't matter, And he hangs it, and the ref goes, 115.
Oh, no.
And he takes it off, and they get 3 tries.
Oh.
And Bobby, and I don't even think Bobby said anything. He, like, took it off, and the ref's like, you want to try it again? And, like, Bobby still didn't even say anything. He was just like, just quiet. I could feel it. And I'm like, really, like, Hangs it again. He says, go ahead, zeroed, go ahead. Hangs it again. 115. He's got one more shot.
What?
This happened live, dude. I'm not kidding you. I'm just like, I'm a fucking mess, dude. I'm biting my fingernails. I got, look at my thumbs. The skin's all off of my thumbs. Takes it off. quiet. Hangs it again. 2 pounds. 2 pounds. Dude, he took it off. He starts talking. You know,
Are you
he's
kidding
back
me?
to normal. Bobby lets it go. And 2 minutes, you know, nobody caught another one.
Oh, my God.
Luke caught one
Yeah.
that jumped him up to second, which jumped Wheeler down to third and Connell down to fifth. I think that's how it ended up. But Bobby won by just a little bit, and
Wow.
Luke just a little bit behind him.
Oh, my God.
But literally within the last few minutes. So it was awesome. So make a long story short, congrats, Bobby.
Congrats to
Lane.
Bobby.
Yeah,
Congrats,
that's on
Bobby.
Bobby Lane. And
He's one of the good ones.
he's one of the good ones. I know we were supposed to have him on a show. Bobby, he's still clapping for Bobby. We're going to have Bobby on. I definitely want to have Bobby on one of the next shows. Maybe the next show, if it doesn't conflict with a MLF event or
Stuff,
whatever.
yeah.
You know. Love to have Bobby on the show to talk about that. And he deserved it, man. He had such a good year. Remember the year he had last year?
Yeah.
Dude, he had like three or some second place like 3 times, and he was this close.
On a roll,
On a
man.
roll.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to see him win. And it's a big one to win, $300,000, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they had like 10 people at the expo, none of that matters. You know, I'm glad to see Bobby win that tournament. And here's the bigger news. The bigger
There's
story
bigger
to
news?
me. Bigger news. And let me before I say this, I want to make sure because I'm going to get a lot of hate mail,
Oh,
and
boy.
Jake will be seeing the IMs come through, blah blah blah. Let me before I say this, let me say this that
boy.
I don't have the viewpoint of a Randy Blockett. Although I love Randy and I love that he's vocal, he hates electronics and technology and active target.
Right.
I'm not that guy. I embrace it. I don't think I'm very good at it. But let me say that now. I don't hate active target. I don't hate that technology. But let me say this. I am happy to say that in this event, fishing won out over electronics.
I got you.
Right.
Yes, first and second place, both.
That's good.
Bobby
the other
and
guys were-
Luke were fishing.
Fishing.
And the rest of the guys that were right there were all looking. You know, Edwin.
Right.
Dustin,
Wheeler.
all basically 90% of their fish
Live scoping.
on active target live
Yeah.
scope technology. It's nice. Again, I'm not saying it to hate, but I'm glad that just fishing won out. You know,
Yep.
Zach Burge coming fifth, also just fishing.
Yep.
It was nice to see that, man.
Good event for
You know,
Birds, yeah.
and I think it gives some hope to the guys that are watching that don't have that money for that investment or
Yeah.
don't want to learn that crap. Or are anti-technology, you can win by just fishing.
Yeah, you
know?
can.
It's nice, man.
For sure. I mean,
Feels good.
a lot of guys are going to be out off the bank.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of
Yeah.
sliding,
extra bank.
a lot of sliding down the bank available to do if everybody's out off the bank.
Slide
Sliding, baby.
down the bank.
Get on the bank and chuck and wind.
Yeah, slide down the bank.
Did you hear the other
John
news?
Cox still uses a 4-tracks.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, good for him, man.
I'm about to go back to it,
That's
honestly.
awesome.
Man.
Yeah.
The college championship is this week.
It is. It's coming up.
Yeah.
Okay.
They start Wednesday, I believe.
Okay.
So today was supposed to be their first, their full day of practice. They
Yeah.
get one full day and then
Mhm.
a half day
Where
tomorrow.
is it at?
Fort
Fort Gibson.
Gibson, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all had to come to the expo today, to the event. So tomorrow's going to be their full day. They get the one day tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a college event in conjunction with MLF.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
MLF
so they're
College
pretty upset
Championship.
about it. Maybe.
Maybe.
All right. If you're a college angler and you're watching right now, get on the IMs. Hit up Jake.
Yeah.
We want to hear it. We love dirt and gossip.
Yeah.
We love that stuff. I would be
I know
pissed
a couple
too.
of them should
I'd
be
be
watching.
pissed too.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I don't want to make this bash MLF.
I mean, there was only 10 people at the
it's only
expo.
10
How
yeah,
important was it?
Exactly. One of the things that I hated toward the end over there that really drove me nuts was that
Let it out, Mike.
I'm going to let it out. I'm just be honest. I don't even care. It doesn't matter anymore, right? It doesn't matter. When business and production, start to control the outcome and,
Yeah.
that
Mhm.
stuff, it's no good. That's never good, right? And there's a clear example of that, where, if they got 2 practice days, they should be practicing. Oh, but no, you got to be here
we need
because
200 college anglers wearing their tournament
you
costumes
got to
here.
be you got to be here and you know production and business trumps the tournament. Should be fishing.
Yeah.
I don't like none of that. I don't like that at all. It's crap. Yeah, chime in if you're watching right now.
Well, congrats, Bobby.
But congrats, Bobby. Yeah, congrats, Bobby. Yeah. Actually, on the anglers that I think, I see him coming back to bass in the next couple of years, to be honest with you.
Think so?
Good.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
I do. Also, just real quick to add to that, Andy Montgomery, I think, ended up 6th. And he had 5 that weighed 20-something today and came in 6th. If it was a 5-fish tournament,
Blows it away.
Andy Montgomery's your winner.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting.
Gotcha.
How many times did they did they zero the weights? It was like 3 times or something.
I think so. I think everybody got 2 days, and it was carried over, and then they broke into 2 groups and zeroed. Each group was zeroed, and then they zeroed for the finale. Yeah. I don't know.
Divide, carry the 2.
Right. Carry the
Got
2,
it.
bring over the 1. Let's also. I want to do a little catch up on the classic because
Yeah.
is this the first Ike Live since the classic?
First Ike Live
Established
since
that
Classic,
early.
I
yeah.
think it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Brian the Carpenter and
Really?
Riz, let me get your take, and Jake, let me get your take on it. How was the classic? How was the Bassmaster Classic this year in terms of what you saw at the Bass U booth, what you saw at the expo?
I say it's one of the best ones.
One of the best ones. Why?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
I mean, the expo, it's a different perspective now. I don't get to get out into the, to see the expo much, and I
Yeah.
don't get to the weigh-ins anymore. But we had massive crowds.
Yeah.
Bass U broke numbers, set records,
Yep.
Right.
snap necks.
Yeah, it was
Snapping necks.
so like post-COVID.
Post-COVID.
Obviously we had the Classic last year in Texas, and it was still the Classic, but it was in June. It was nobody was really sure who was going to be there, how many people
Yeah.
were going to show up, like was it going to be scaled down,
Yeah.
what vendors were actually going to be there. So it was a little different, but this year it felt like
Felt
okay,
back
the
to normal.
Classic's back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody, except for the MLF anglers, of course.
Yeah.
Everybody was there. You
Yeah.
knew all the big, the big industry people were going to be there, and the crowds were just, buzzing.
crowds were insane.
Constant nonstop flow
Oh,
from
God,
our area
yeah.
of the expo center. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it was good, and we had a hell of an after party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a really good after.
Shout out to Founders for that.
Yeah, shout out to Founders. Brian, I'd say was one of the we learn a little bit every time we have an after party. I think we learn a little bit and try to make it better. But that was a pretty good one. It was like a slow start. I got there a little late because I was trying to say congrats to Jason. We'll talk to him about it later. But I got in there and there was definitely hardcore fans. But then all of a sudden it just before I knew it, dude, an hour went past and the place was packed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We had a nice mix of hardcore fans and other pros and people in the industry.
That's right.
It was awesome to also see Chase Anderson
Oh yeah.
Singing karaoke.
Yeah, President CEO of Bass come by and hang out
And
at
hang.
the after party for a little bit.
Hanging with the
and
folks.
It was great. It was great to see him, and I like that because he gets we're very normal. We're at the bottom of the food chain, all of us. We are. You know what I mean? And it was nice to see him come down and just hang out with regular people.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, an elitist.
Yeah. Well, we're regular people.
One of them lizard
Common
people
folks.
running the world.
Right. Yeah. Those are people. I'm getting a call from Norristown, Pennsylvania. I think that's about my student loans.
Probably.
This late on a Sunday night?
That's what it says.
Answer it. Put them
says
on.
Norristown.
Put them on the air.
Nah.
Tell them to call back in the third segment.
Nah, but I think the Classic was great. I think the crowds were great. It definitely did feel back to normal a
Right.
little bit, and I think the world's getting back to normal a little bit now. It
Yep.
was nice, It was nice.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. I thought for sure I was coming home with COVID, but it didn't happen.
Pete did.
Yeah.
Pete did. He did. I know. Pete sure did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Y'all last one.
Oh, man.
Last
of the-
strain. Last of the Mohicans.
So the last of the strains.
He's holding out.
Yeah.
Hanging tough.
Pete holdout.
Hanging
Pete's
tough.
yeah.
Pete last.
Waited till they get the last one.
Pete finale.
It's like everything else he does. He's last.
Yeah.
You
Gets
ain't
on the
first, you're
airplane last. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was.
At least he got on the plane.
Oh,
Yeah,
good
let's
one,
talk
Jake,
about that, Brian.
dickhead.
How'd that go?
I had a great time, and I'm glad I drove.
I'm glad you drove too.
Brian missed his plane on purpose, is what I heard.
No, I didn't.
That's what I heard.
Well, who'd you hear it from? Somebody that wasn't there and don't know shit? Get outta here.
Maybe.
Dude, I ran a mile in them damn cowboy boots that I stole from the last Classic.
I mean,
and I learned that cowboy boots are not for running.
They're not. They're not any
No.
good. No. No.
I had to look ridiculous.
Yeah.
Really bad. Like, I was embarrassed of myself.
I mean, I was sure when we were there and you said you made it to the airport, and that was like 26 minutes before our flight was supposed to take off, that you were pulling into the airport.
TSA.
I was sure you were going to make it. But
no,
you know,
I had an hour. I had
what
an
got
hour
you
when I
was
got to the parking garage.
when you went to the wrong gate.
By
that
a
kind of
mile.
set you back a little bit. You know?
Yeah, well, I didn't know that was American.
Yeah, it was
American launches out at A, B, and F.
F. Yeah, they do flights out
Yeah.
of F.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
The
Well, who the
small
frick
planes.
knew
We
that?
were first. We were
the-
first flight, man.
Yeah, and
early
the,
check-in time.
And the shit that I got from the people that set it up had no information.
Huh?
You saw it.
You had no.
Still my
info.
fault. No, it said fucking here's the flight. Show up then, but it didn't say what gate or terminal.
Mm.
So I just
Okay.
assumed that United launches over here. I'll launch there. Nah, it's a mile away.
Yeah. Hey.
I got to our gate, and I
Yep.
watched the last people walk through the tunnel onto the airplane.
and
but
they
the-
wouldn't let you on.
The door was already locked. It said flight's closed.
Huh.
Yep.
Did you give him $100 bill?
Did
I
you
was
did you
dripping
ask if
sweat,
you could
dude.
get on?
Yeah.
And what did they say?
That was it. Psst. No, by the time they came back out, they had rolled the thing back. You're smoked.
Oh,
She's
the-
like, oh, you're the one they're waiting for? Yeah. Sorry. Let me reschedule you another flight. I says, don't bother.
Don't bother.
I'm out of here.
I'm gone.
Driving,
I'll
baby.
bait my own hook.
Yeah. Well, you made it. I'm glad you made it because
Thanks,
it was
man.
a
Yep.
good. It was a good classic. I thought it was really good. Last thing I want to give an update on, Brian. Then I think let's take a short break, and then when we come back, let's get right to Luke. 'Cause I'm very anxious to have
Yes.
him on. We have and we might do this update again too when Becky comes in later in the
Okay.
show. But big announcement for the Ike Foundation. I'm stoked about this one. They're growing every year. They try to do some new stuff, add some new things, and this year the Ike Foundation is starting a youth tournament trail. Very, very excited about it for kids. So 2 age groups. We've got a youth 8 to 13, and then we've got a 14 to 18-year-old age group. Got 3 events this year. May 21st on Lake Lenape,
Damn it,
July 23rd on Lums, and September 17th on Union Lake. It's going to be a great schedule.
It's a good
Here's
schedule.
the thing that I love about what they're doing, though, with this kids tournament trail is they're really, really trying to get kids that don't have access to a boat, right? They don't have any access to a boat. They don't have a dad that's got a full-size bass boat. They don't have a John boat, but they love to fish. They want to compete. They're trying to really focus on those kids. And because of that, man, we need volunteers. We need
Yes.
volunteers. Really, really bad. If you're watching this live right now, or if you're going to listen to this later in a week or so down the road, and you're listening, and if you live in the tri-state area, right, if you live in Maryland, Delaware, PA, New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and man, you got the time to help. We really do need some boat captains for
Yep.
this. We need your help. So
And the kids appreciate it. You know what I mean?
They do.
You're changing potentially that kid's life
Yes.
by getting them out on the boat all day. And I'll tell you what, if you're a fisherman, we all need a little bit of fishing karma.
yeah,
We need, we need to give back because it's, it takes a lot of things to have a good day on the water.
yeah.
So let's go ahead and stack the cards in the right direction with this.
Yeah, it's awesome. So if you're interested in it, if you're available, again, May 21st, July 23rd, September 7th, please let us know. You can get a hold of the ladies at theikefoundation.org. There's an info thing right there. Just shoot us an email. Also hit us up on social media if you can. And I forgot to mention that giving some cool prizes away for the kids along with scholarship money, which is really, really cool. So fishing for fun, fishing for a little bit of prize and scholarship time, trying to get kids out on the water. So if you're watching, you want to volunteer, please, we need the help. So let those guys know over there. Brian, what else you got on the catch-up? I feel like that was a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's good enough. We
All right.
fished yesterday, but we'll talk about that later when
Yeah.
we get Paul on.
And the fishing sucked. Listen, hang in there. We're going to take a little short break. When we come back, we've got Luke Palmer on. First time
Oh yeah.
on
Faux show.
on Ike Live. Very excited to have Luke on. He's on a little bit of a roll. We're going to talk to him about what's going on.
Like a hot
Hang in
dog.
there with us. And then also in the third segment, Brian Carpenter, Jason Christie.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a great show. Hang in there with us. When we come back, more Ike Live.
You know, right now where we're standing, we're in Camden, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Philadelphia is right there. This is the concrete jungle. And, you know, a lot of those kids, as they grow up, they don't fish. It's interesting because they're surrounded by water, you know, the Delaware River, the Schuylkill, ponds, city park lakes. But they don't have the influence to cast, to fish, to have a rod and reel. And that became our focus, you know, is to target kids in what we call non-traditional areas, you know, urban areas, city centers, where the population's high, and let these kids have the experience. You know, it's amazing. I mean, some of the experiences we've had, whether it's Central Park in New York City, here in Camden, other parts of the country, even just casting.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable to see it, isn't it?
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
Yes.
And you know, you see these kids have this experience they've never had, and they light up, you know? The big thing, I think, for the Ike Foundation is we're not saying we want all these kids to become professional anglers.
No.
Be great if some of them did, but we want them to have that fishing experience because it ties them to so many other positive things. The outdoors, nature, conservation. Ecology, you know, all these amazing things in life that maybe they wouldn't have been exposed to any other way. We're trying to help with that. So it's important. It's important for us.
Yeah.
We're proud of it.
TH Marine has been producing top-of-the-line marine accessories to rig boats from transom to trolling motor for decades. From jack plates to fish care to LEDs, TH Marine has you covered. TH Marine, outfitting your boat from transom to trolling motor.
At Founders Brewing, we asked ourselves, what if we brewed a beer perfect for any occasion? A beer that makes a weekday feel more like the weekend, and the weekend feel more like an adventure. What if we brewed a beer that brought us together and allowed us to be ourselves? A beer that is just as much of a companion as it is a reward at the end of the journey. What if we explored the unknown together and found a new way to celebrate taste and flavor and life's simple pleasures? And what if we brewed a beer that could go where you go without slowing you down? Founders All Day IPA, low ABV and full flavor that goes where you go. Perfect for any occasion.
We're excited to announce our brand new partnership with an amazing company, Heshi Socks. That's spelt Heshi Socks. Go to heshysocks.com to check out my brand new Mike Iaconelli collection. That's right, I have my own custom socks in tournament colors. I promise you, you will never, I mean never, find a more comfortable sock. The great news, all my socks are under $10 a pair when you use our promo code IKE20. Go to heshysocks.com, use the promo code IKE20 to get the most comfortable socks in the world.
And we're back.
And we're back. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to a brand new episode of Ike Live here on a Sunday. I know I like having them on Sunday, man. I know we've flip-flopped days recently. We've had some Friday shows. We've had some Saturday shows. I like Sunday shows.
Yeah?
I do. No, I like Sunday shows.
Doesn't matter.
It's not football season, so we're not competing against football.
Fuck about football.
Yeah, who cares? But I kind of like Sunday shows. I don't know. They feel good to me. Also, we do want to say hello to our missing members.
Hello.
Pete Glosick and Dave Brodzik. I hope you guys are watching and listening. We miss you guys. Definitely. What's up with Dave? Haven't seen Dave in a while.
Beats the hell out of me.
Is he? It's ever since the Russia thing happened. He's been MIA. Does that have anything to do with Russia?
He's undercover.
Is he training? Is he,
is he
getting
training
ready?
with the Ukrainians?
Might be.
Ukrainians?
I remember a couple years ago he said he was going to start a militia up north. So
probably has.
Has anybody talked to Mel? Is
Nope.
Dave around? Did he take a flight to Europe? Where is he?
No, dude, MIA.
That is kind of strange.
Well, if you're watching, Dave, we miss you.
We love you, Dave. We miss you. Come
bud.
back from Ukraine. Let me remind
Come
you.
back to us, Dave.
Come back to us. Let me remind you.
I can see the memes now. Of Dave in Ukraine.
I hope so.
Riding Bigfoot into battle.
Yeah, I hope so.
Riding Bigfoot.
Yeah.
If you are watching tonight over on social media, like and share the feed. Like and share the feed. If you do that, you're going to be entered a chance to win the Ike Live gift bag and a Jason Christie AFCO sweatshirt, which is great. So please like and share the feed. Also, send your comments in. Jake, we want to do a little catch-up. You got a couple that straggled through that you want to just mention?
Stragglers.
People talking about
Zeke.
Drunk Wood saying Riz broke the fish. What else?
Riz, did you break a sign or no?
Drunkwood, man, I think last time I held it up, dude, I think I held it up
Might held
upside
it
down.
backwards. Yeah. That
Upside
one's got
down.
the eye, right?
Yeah.
Woo! The eye?
It's a big one.
Something fell off.
No, the eye's gone.
Is
There's
it?
no eye. But that's
there
all
is.
right. It's still
Left side.
beautiful. All
There,
right.
yeah, there is no eye. Drunkwood, I got you, dog. Mike, what do you think this thing will weigh? It'd be a, what, 17 pounder?
I don't know. I would like
That's
to
an
have that.
OHI view right
17,
there.
18?
I don't know.
17, 18, 19, 20 pounder?
If that was a fish, that weighed more than all the fish I caught in bass events this year. I'm sure.
That thing weighs more than there's no I in team.
That's also true. Yeah, what else we got, Bri? I think I'd like to get to it. We got Luke waiting, or what?
Yep,
How we got to dial him up, or
No,
what is
he's
this,
sitting
old
there,
school?
chilling.
All right. So I'm excited because this guy's on a roll. He's one of the young guys. I would call him one of the it guys in bass right now. We need these guys really bad in the sport. And I'm excited because it's the first time on Ike Live. Joining us now, the one and only Luke Palmer.
Luke.
How you doing tonight, Luke?
Doing well. How are you guys?
Very good. Thank you for joining us on the show tonight. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks you guys for having me. All right, before we get started, I'm glad you're back, man.
Thank you.
Hey, all right.
Thank you. I'm
Glad you're back.
Dude, it means so much. I gotta tell you, thank you for saying that. And I have heard from, this is really interesting. How many guys, Luke, we have on the Elite Show? 90 something, right? 90, whatever it is, 94, 93, whatever we have.
Yeah.
I have literally heard, I bet you, like 80 of the guys since the first event, through the last event, have taken time out to come up and say that to me. And I really appreciate that. Honestly, it means a lot that you guys have welcomed me back. I didn't feel a lot of that love in the other circuit I was fishing. So it is
The other guys.
It is nice to be back, although I'm not catching them. We're going to talk about that a little later. I have a couple questions to ask you. But first things first, I see the background here. Where are you at? Are you at home? Are you on the road? Where are you calling in from?
Now, heck, I'm back home. I finally got home Friday night. I was back to work on Saturday morning. So me and my dad went fishing today, and I said, the only Wi-Fi connection that I have in Colgate for me is at my hardware store.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. And I want to say that I appreciate very, very much you guys that fish hard, succeed, do well at the highest level of competition, and then you get home and it's like back to normal life. I like that. I really, really appreciate that. Am I mad at the guys that just get to fish forever and ever and not do anything else and they're just like gypsies? I used to do that when I was young, but I'm a little mad at those guys. I appreciate a guy that actually has a life and a normal job outside of that. But I noticed, Luke, I've been following you on Instagram for a while now, and I like what you're doing over there. But I noticed on your Instagram page, I don't remember exactly what it says, but it says something about, the hardware business and the lawn business. So tell me about that. That's got to be important to you.
Oh yeah, the hardware store has been my family since the 40s, so that's kind of it's hard to give something like that up. That's been so near and dear to my heart, and you don't bite that hand that feeds you.
Yeah.
You take care of that. The mowing deal actually started back when I was 10 or 11, and Dad kind of gave me the ultimatum. He was like, you can mow grass, fish, or play baseball, but you're gonna mow grass. I mean, it's one of those deals. I had to make a little decision in life a little early, but I still played baseball through. After that, I ended up playing more, but I went ahead and I got the mowing deal going, and that's kind of what actually got me started with the fishing deal. Which my dad got me started, but as far as having the $4 I had in my pocket to go fishing, I was able to buy a few things, and that's kind of what got me going into to keep me going for money wise. You know how it is with money.
Oh yeah,
it's not easy, especially on it now.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear that, because there's honestly, I feel like, and I've got two in their early 20s, and I've got two younger kids, and I feel like a lot of the younger generation, they're missing that work ethic. So to see that, I think that's important. Like, Jake, I'm going to put you on the spot. Our guy doing our IMs tonight. Jake, how old are you?
23.
23. Ooh. You're one of the hardest working. I've known you since you were literally in high school, and you've worked your ass off from a very young age, and you're still working your ass off.
Thank you.
And I really appreciate that. So to hear that, Luke,
it's not. Don't give the credit to Jake.
Right.
It's his parents.
It's his dad. It's his
and
parents.
And don't blame the kids that are lazy. It's their parents.
It's their parents. Yeah. Right. And but
100%.
But you should have that. But here's the thing I want to say: how much of that work ethic that you've had since you started that lawn business, how much of that, Luke, has transferred into what you do now? Because I can tell you, for me, my fishing skill is not that good. I've always relied on my work ethic, and I see it in you a little bit. Is that important to your fishing as well?
Oh, 100%. Because the fishing deal is actually, it's stressful, no doubt.
Yeah.
It is. But that's my enjoyment to an extent. Right. I love it. I love to fish. When I'm at the store, it's like, that's all I think about, because that's what I want to be doing. But it kind of gives me a nice breakup, I guess you'd say, from it.
Yeah.
It keeps me so enthused, and you can get burnt out on something if you do it every single day.
Yeah.
And I think that gives a little bit of advantage for me, because I am coming back home and going to work. Now, don't get me wrong, I would love to stay on the water every single day and keep at it, but that's not what does it for me yet.
Yeah.
But the work ethic, that's kind of how I've been my whole life. I enjoy working. Working is one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's fishing, or I worked at playing basketball, I worked at playing baseball. I've just always wanted to stay busy and do things. And that's one thing about fishing. It changes every single day. So you can't get tired of it.
Yeah.
Because, someone's going to catch them better than you the next day, or vice versa. And it just keeps you driven and keeps you going.
Yeah, that's awesome.
How important is that balance between, like, the work and the fishing, and the aspect of, like, so the work is obviously, it helps you in your financial stability. It helps you keep things moving when you're not catching them, when you're not cashing checks. But, like, also, like, when you're at the hardware store or you're cutting grass, like, in the back of your mind, you're thinking about, man, I really want to be fishing. Like, how much does it really just keep that fire lit to make you really, when you put the boat in the water the next time, you're jacked to fish every single time.
Yeah.
Like,
it is 100%, because you're like, honestly, you want to be fishing.
Yeah.
I love being at the hardware store. I love dealing with people. I enjoy that. I really enjoy that. I enjoy helping people. But that passion and that drive is, like you said, when you put that thing in the water and you don't get off till dark every single night, because, obviously that could be your last time ever to fish too.
Yeah.
But you know that your time is somewhat limited to some guys who are able to fish all the time. So you have to make every second, every minute you're out there count.
Yeah.
And that's what pushes me harder and harder each time, because I want to succeed, you know, I mean, in every aspect I do in my life. And it's definitely helped for that. Just, you know, I want to win, you know, it doesn't matter if we're playing horseshoe or whatever. I want to win, you know, that's just part of it.
Yeah.
You guys remember when we had Lindner on?
Yeah.
One of the biggest things that stood out when we had Al Lindner on, he said, go fishing every chance you get.
Right.
Whether it's for 30 minutes or you have 14 hours, go fishing every chance you get. And what you're saying, Luke, is like, it just hammered something into my brain. And like, it's really, I got to spit it out. When you don't have a chance to go fishing every day, you don't get to pick your conditions.
Right.
You don't get to pick like, oh, it's at the end of a 3-day warming trend, and I'm definitely going to go today.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, today's the day I actually can jump out the window for 5 hours and fish. So I'm going. It doesn't matter if it's 35 degrees and raining or it's 70.
Yeah.
I'm going.
Yeah. It makes you fish the moment a little better, because you have to fish under those conditions.
For sure. You
just like you do on the trail.
Yeah.
The tournament trail.
Yeah. Like you said at Alloway the other day. Lake of
it's all right, everybody knows. It's okay.
Lake in Jersey. You had 4 hours, right?
4
so you got to
hours.
make it work.
However
However the fish want to talk to you, you got that time.
Yeah.
Make it work.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool stuff.
It's true. I want to know, Luke, you work in this hardware business. Your family's had it since the 40s. That's incredible. Has your family been supportive of this part of your life and your career from day one? Or were they a little like, oh, you want to really become a gypsy and go travel the world?
Yeah.
Or were they pretty cool with it from day one?
No, they really have been. They've always been supportive of me fishing, period. I think they actually kind of wanted me to try it a lot earlier in life.
Yeah.
But, you know, things didn't line up. They, you know, I mean, I always said if I could ever make the elites, I said I want to be able to try to make it on my own for 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, if sponsors don't line up and stuff like that, because I've always done it on my own up till that point. And, you know, when things, you just kind of got to have that financial backing. And I'm not one I'm scared to death to get way in debt on something like fishing.
Yeah.
I wanted to have a little bit of a background to where if something, hey, it can, in 2 years, your whole life can flip flop.
Oh yeah.
In the league.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't catch them the first year and you only halfway catch them the second year, you get to go back to your 9 to 5 real quick and in a hurry.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to have that backing before I got to it. But I was fortunate enough the year that I made the elites, I won the ABA Nationals, and that paid $100,000. So I was able to you know, sit back and not have to worry about it for a year or two.
Give you a little cushion. Yeah.
Oh, it definitely, because if I can't worry about that and fish against you guys.
Yeah.
You know, that's one less variable I can take out. And I feel a little bit better about it when I step up. I don't have to necessarily cut a check. I want to every time, but I'm not going in the hole when I get there.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope, I know we usually have a lot of high school and college anglers listening to the podcast. So if you're listening, listen to what Luke's saying right there, because that's real important. You definitely want to have something to fall back on. Let me remind you, if you're watching and listening tonight, if you've got a question or comment about anything you're hearing or seeing tonight, you got a question for Luke, Jake, hit you up on the IMs. You're going to be pulling some through. You got anything for us right now coming through, or you want to wait a couple minutes? What you got?
No, I got 2 coming in right now.
Oh, all right, what do you got?
The first one we're going to go with is from Brian's nephew. Luke, what's the best hammer for framing?
This is a hardware question.
Oh man, I'd be lying to you. We're not that big. We're still the little guys. We got 3,000 people in my town, so we're still the little mom and pop type store. All right, now if you want something on the fishing aisle or bow tile, I can probably hook you up pretty quick.
They got a fishing aisle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was guaranteed. You got to have that.
Jake,
that was necessity right there.
What else you got, Jake?
We have a real one coming in from from Ryan Brown on YouTube. With the rest of the events on the schedule, which one is setting up best for Luke, and why?
Okay, that's a good question.
I don't really know. You know, I think Chick might set up best for me for the rest of the year. just because it's going to be a shallow water deal. We shouldn't have to fish over 7-8 foot of water up there. I mean, just shouldn't, unless something happens. But that one's, and I've only been there one time. So, but the other ones, we're going to have to go up north and go to the smallmouth water. And my track record up there is not near as good in the north as it is in the south. So it's definitely been a learning curve up north for me, because I mean, I've told several people that I didn't have a spinning rod till 4 years ago.
That's awesome.
So I had to learn real quick, and it's been
born
learning
with
curve,
a bait caster in Oklahoma? Or are you just like, is it in your hands?
If you're in Oklahoma, you are born with a bait caster. So
that's it.
You heard it from Luke right there. He didn't have a spinning rod until 4 years ago. In fact, Jason Christie didn't have a spinning rod until a week before the Classic. So, and you saw what he did with it there. So, you guys are fast learners. It's funny, Luke, that you said you're looking forward to Chick, and I am too. That's going to be a good one. But, dude, my feeling is the total opposite. Like, when I saw that schedule, deep down inside, you're always like, I'm just going to go fish. But deep down inside, I was like, I hate Florida. I hate spawning fish. So I've started with the worst 3, hopefully. I got them out of the way. I'm hoping to do a little better. But speaking on that, I had this in my notes. Brian didn't have this in the notes, but
well, thank you,
Luke. I'm having a hell of a start. Like I'm having the worst start I've ever had in the history of my fishing career in any circuit. I've just had a horrible start, and I have in my notes to ask both you and Jason. And both you guys are from Oklahoma, but both you guys have different histories of the sport. You're a younger guy. Jason's a veteran. What is the best way to get out of a slump, in your opinion? And we have a lot of people listening and watching, too, that are dealing with slumps or have dealt with slumps. How do you get out of a slump? What do you recommend a guy do? What should I do?
You see that bottle on your front table there?
Yeah, drink the whole thing. I tried that. I did that with vodka last night, and it didn't work.
Oh, no, it's, I don't know. I think it's just keep fishing.
Right.
Right. I played basketball and baseball. I was more of a shooter in basketball, and you got to keep shooting. You can't get hot if you don't shoot.
Yeah.
So the more you go, the better off you're going to be. It's hard to get out of that snowball effect.
Yeah.
When one thing bad happens, and it's just like the harder you try, the almost worse it is.
Yeah.
And that it's aggravating. I mean, the more pissed off you get at yourself, and because all our deal is ourselves.
Yeah.
It's nobody else.
Yeah.
I mean, all you can do is get mad at yourself, and it's frustrating.
Yeah.
You gotta keep casting, man.
Yeah. I've been very mad. I've been very mad at myself this year. I used to be, early in my career, it used to like really eat at me where I'd have a bad one and I couldn't stop thinking about it for like the whole year. Now I try to get rid of it quicker. Like I have a couple bad days and I'm mad, but then I like put it behind me. I don't know if it's just age or I'm just sick of like punching holes in the wall or whatever. But I take it better now. But I'm still mad and I want to get out of the slump. You're on the opposite end of the slump. You're on a hell of a roll, Luke, coming off a great Bassmaster Classic finish with some really big fish, coming off an amazing Santee finish with some really, really big fish. Yeah. Unbelievable. Just crazy big fish. Talk about that, because I want to hear about that too. I don't want to just hear about slumps. I want to hear about guys on a roll. How did you get there? Do you feel like you're making good decisions? Talk about that.
Going back to the slump deal real quick, one thing that I have really done that's kind of helped me, I mean, this is going to help, I hope it's going to help some people, is when we step off the water at 3 o'clock, that day is done.
Right.
You have nothing about that you can do any more about that day other than give yourself 30 minutes saying, hey, what could I have done better? What decision could I have done that might have helped me out some?
Yeah.
And then go, hey, go rig your rods back up. We're going to go after it tomorrow. We're going to catch it.
Yeah.
I mean, because if you sit and fret over it, and you're going to think about it the next day, and that's going to cause you to miss a fish possibly. That could have turned your day plumb around.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just forgetting the past and just rolling on. I mean, it's hard to do. I mean, you know how it is.
Yeah.
But when you can, you're a lot better off. You'll be a lot calmer, a lot more chill.
Yeah.
And then that next fish you catch, you're ready to roll.
Right.
But no, the classic and all, my first 2 tournaments weren't ideal for me. And I made one cut coming out of Florida. I got a 60-something finish at the next one, and I wasn't happy about, because you got to make cuts against these guys. Because when you make cuts, you make money.
Right.
And but going into the Classic, I went and spent a few days back in December there and looked at it, and I done a lot of idling. I don't know, I might have fished 30 minutes in 3 days, and I went out there, boy, I was pumped up. It was cold. I said, that deep stuff's going to play. And the deep stuff didn't, the stuff that I had that I thought was going to really play, I think I caught 1 fish off of it in 3 days of practice.
Wow.
So it was kind of but I was able to kind of figure out how to catch a few herring fish, which is nothing that I know how to do. I mean, we have shad, and they're nothing like the little herring guys running around. It's just not the same. But I was able to get a few of that thing going, because it fishes a lot like Texoma. Because Texoma's got stripers in it and stuff, so it kind of had a little bit of similarities to it. But that was just kind of when things kind of clicked a little bit, it worked. It was a struggle. There wasn't nothing. I mean, it wasn't like we went out and just pounded the heck out of them at the Classic. Some guys did. I did. But Santee was that was fun.
Yeah.
It was a struggle. I mean, I got very fortunate. I was actually planning on fishing up the river and catching 18 to 20 pounds a day, which that wasn't very good once it came into play.
Right.
As far as weight wise. But I got up there, and the area or 2 I had was completely chocolate milk. And I planned on staying up there and catching me 18 to 20, and then coming back down and trying to catch a big one. But I didn't know if I could catch very many when I was down. And well, when I pulled in on day 2, they showed up, and it got real pretty.
Wow.
Real fast.
Wow.
It was neat. I've never seen. We don't have fish waves in Oklahoma like that.
Yeah.
Our spawn seems like it lasts for 3 months, and it was like Katie bar the door whenever we showed up down there. When that cold front finally broke and it warmed up, it was like every fish in the lake decided to pull up. But it wasn't in every area.
Right.
That's what everybody said, boy, y'all just whacked the hell out. No, there was only, 3 or 4 or 5 areas that really played,
right?
If that.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just fortunate. I pulled up on an area that I actually didn't even really fish in practice. I had 2 bites in there, and there happened to be 33.5 pounds sitting in there. I mean,
wow.
They just kind of randomly like, hey, let's pull up on these trees and let Luke.
Is your heart rate down yet from the 9-piece?
Yeah, that was incredible. God. What a fit! I mean, that thing. I saw the photos. I think is what I initially saw of it, and the head on that thing when you were pulling out of the water, dude, it looked like one of those bass pillows. The fake, the bass pillows they sell in stores. This giant, dude. That's what it looked like. Talk about that. Talk about that fish. Talk about the hook set to landing of that fish.
Dude, that's what. It was kind of neat because Kyle Jesse, one of the photographers, had pulled up on me 10 minutes prior to that. And I was like, man, you just missed it. He's like, what? I said, man, I just got like a 7.5. I said, I'll probably catch another fish the rest of the day. And I said, I don't care if I do, because I've got 26, 27 pounds. I'll get to fish maybe the next day.
Yeah.
And he said, man, you need to catch. He said, I want you to catch a 9-pounder. I was like, yeah, whatever. Well,
I'll do my best.
I pulled over there and I flipped my little woolly bug up there, and I was actually BSing with him and talking. And I've got, I've watched it and stuff, and I got quiet.
Yeah.
And it popped up over one of them cypress knees. You know how it just feels weird?
Yeah.
And I was thinking, well, damn, my line's out here beside the boat. And I know it's mad to put swim out here. And when I reeled down in, I crammed her hard,
Yeah.
And I like to set the hook hard for some reason. I don't know why. It just makes me feel macho, I guess.
It's a baseball thing.
I cracked her, and it was like everything just worked out. Like, I mean, the fish wanted to go around to where he was, and it couldn't have ended up any better. You know, he was 20 foot from me to get the pictures and stuff. It was almost surreal, you know, because you know, I knew I went well over 30 then, and I've never caught a 30-pound bag in my life.
How about that?
That's incredible.
You know, but that fish looked like a dang crappie. If it would have been the length,
shape,
it had the 10-pound eyes. It was like, this is guaranteed over 10. And then you pick her up, and it was like her whole body come out and just kept getting shorter and shorter and shorter.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right. Little Stabby over here. But
It's like a flat fish.
I'll take a 9 anytime we show up anywhere and not be mad about it. So
Yeah,
it was fun. Like, finally getting to hold up a stringer across the front of the stage.
That's awesome.
That doesn't happen. And making Mercer do something was even better. So.
Oh, that's awesome. What a fish. Yeah, you'll remember those fish, man, you remember forever, you know. And I remember I've caught a few real big ones like that over the years. And, and it's like all these years later, I'm telling you, I can still close my eyes and see the fish out there jumping and the remembering, like, you know, lifting it and that moment when it gets in. Like, I can remember, like, I caught a 12-13 in the tournament at Lake Amistad on the first day that year. And this is years ago. This is, you know, forever ago. And I still remember it. I can still close my eyes and almost smell it and taste it.
What year was that?
I want to say it was the one that gosh, who won that one? It wasn't the one that Ish won. I think it was.
Wasn't Remitz, was it?
It might have been the one that Remitz won. It might have been that one. Yeah, it was early on when Amistad was still really, really good.
Yeah.
You know, it was still a pretty juicy lake.
Right. Did you have a camera on you?
I didn't have a camera. No, it was the first day of the tournament.
Gotcha.
And I don't even think I weighed 30 that day. I think I weighed like 28 or something. I was under 30, but I had that giant. But it was incredible. But my claim to fame with that fish, though, I won't forget this. And so, the Texas Parks and Wildlife were there, and everybody was excited about the fish because it was so big, and they kept it in the release boat for a little bit, you know. And after the weigh-in was over that day, they had me come back and pose with it for pictures. And I just thought, well, shit, that's awesome because I'll have a picture that I can, you know, I'm like, man, will you send me some of these? Because I'll have one to remember this fish forever, you know?
Yeah.
And then ended up I made a Bassmaster magazine cover, with that fish. Yeah. So I have it memorialized as a cover of a Bassmaster magazine, which is awesome. You know what I mean? It's like
I thought you were going to say it ended up in Lake X.
No, I would have. Hey, if I could have took that home to New Jersey, I would have drove it home. Believe me, I would have.
That fish got shell shocked.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It would have hit water below 65 degrees. It would have got shell shocked.
Oh yeah, and here in Jersey, it would have just killed itself because it don't want to be here. You know. That fish don't belong here. We got a big one here is 4 pounds, so it would have killed itself. I did want to talk to you a little bit about. Had in my notes about Luke, the way you travel, and you're one of the guys that travels with the Lance. I'm pretty sure it's a Lance camper on the back. That's a great lifestyle. We've had a lot of guys on that do that. We've had Carl on and Brett Height and a lot of guys that travel like that. Talk a little bit about traveling like that and touring with that style camper.
Which I just got me an Arctic Fox this year, but it's
Arctic
still
Fox.
camper.
Okay, yeah, Arctic Fox is a good brand. Yeah,
man, it's different. I've actually been doing it since I got on here.
Yeah.
I actually did the 30-foot. I had a 30-foot fifth wheel my first year.
Yeah.
And I was triple pulling.
Okay.
And I think they frown upon that up north.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and I went ahead and got me a dually and got me a truck bed camper, and I love it.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You know, it kind of gives you simplicity that you're kind of somewhat by yourself to an extent. You know, I mean, you have people around you, obviously.
Yeah.
But I love having all my stuff, all my tackle, all my clothes
self-sufficient.
in one spot.
One spot.
Yeah.
No packing and unpacking. No dirty ass hotels. Yeah.
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 Yeah. And you know who's been sleeping in your bed each night, or you better hope so anyway.
Yeah.
That's kind of nice nowadays too. So
yeah.
What do you do for power source? Generator?
No,
I have a generator on it, but we hook up. I mean, I don't stay. I'm not an off the grid guy. I like to have my water and shower and all that. I'm not no hardcore camper.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, those pop-ups are incredible. Like you'd be surprised how big they are. They've got some of them have slides.
Yeah, so you can
slides.
charge a boat off of the generator.
They have at campgrounds they have a plug-in like 30 amp, 50 amp. You plug right into that.
Gotcha.
You've got regular power like anything.
That's cool.
So.
Luke, do you travel solo?
Mine's got a full shower. Yeah.
Oh,
just hanging out, just me.
Yeah, so that's the second part to this, Luke, and you got to remember this is Ike Live, right? So you got to be honest. I do want your honest opinion on this, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but I want to hear your honest opinion. You travel alone, right? Do you practice alone? Do you network with other guys, or is it pretty much you against the fish?
I've done my own thing this year.
Yeah.
I mean, I've kind of just done Luke.
Yeah.
I mean, in the past I've had a few guys that are good buddies I talk to and stuff. And
right.
This year it's just kind of been me. And I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's just been better for me this year for some reason.
Yeah. And the reason I say that, and I have not, this is the first time we're actually bringing this topic up on this show. But I thought, man, what a great time to bring it up with Luke because he's traveling by himself. He's doing this camping thing, which I think that's the way to do it. I love that. We have a lot of guys on tour right now, in the elites especially, that travel together, that work together. And I'm not going to throw out any names here specifically, but I know of, guys that are 3, 4, 5, 6 to a house that are really, really sharing detailed information, right? Like, I mean, some of these relationships down to they share everything.
Mm-hmm.
I just
want to. What do you mean by that?
Underwear.
I mean, there's no. I'm not talking about that. I
ladies?
Mean fishing from a fishing standpoint, not ladies. I want to just ask you outright. Is that right or is that wrong?
I think it's each to your own. I don't know. That's like you say, it's a tough one.
Yeah.
For people. I mean, nothing wrong. It was nice. My first year or two on here, I didn't know a squat about catching a smallmouth up in current.
Right.
I didn't. And one of my buddies, he showed me kind of what I need to look for, what I need to do. I mean, he wouldn't give me spots or anything like that.
Right.
He was just like, because if not, I was going to go up there and flip largemouth and catch my 15 pounds and go home in 94th place out of 85 people.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
So he helped me out doing that. But some guys it works for, I don't know if that might not sometimes hurt somebody for winning a tournament, because you start sharing too much and all of a sudden you're sharing water real quick.
Right.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these are pattern lakes. We fish a lot of good pattern lakes.
Yeah.
So if you start running that, well, all of a sudden you get in a rotation that's behind your buddy and he's got 24 pounds and you got 12. And it's just because he was hitting the stuff before you. And the next day you flop, taking off, and all of a sudden you're hitting the stuff first, and it's vice versa. And, I think that could eventually hurt in the long run.
Yeah.
But, some people that they're good with that and can work with it, kudos to them.
Yeah. Here's my take on it. And honestly, it's one of those gray areas in the sport, right?
Yeah.
And I think at some point there's got to be some kind of compromise. But here's my take on it. And here's why I don't really like it, right? And I say that almost as a hypocrite, because let me start by saying, for a lot of years early in my career, I traveled with Ish Monroe, with John Cruz, and we did come back at night and share general information. We never shared spots. We never shared areas of the lake. We never talked about, I'm upriver. We just said, hey man, I caught some on a chatterbait today, flipping, doing this. So I did it. Okay.
Right.
So I'm going to be very hypocritical here when I say this. I think it's wrong, because I think this is a sport that is an individual sport, right? This isn't freaking baseball. Mm-hmm. This isn't soccer. This isn't hockey. This is not a team sport. This is you against the fish. I really hate that guys are sharing spots and information like that. I've heard, and again, I'm not going to say any names.
But it's no secret, Mike. I mean, the Canadians are out in the open that they pull their money into one bank account.
I know that.
So it's
and
not
again,
a secret.
I know it's not a secret.
Right.
And I've heard guys at Bass specifically, and I won't say any names.
It goes on in the other league too.
Yeah, I've heard guys at Bass, announcers at Bass, call it the cheat bus. They've said that to me.
Right.
Oh, those guys are on the cheat bus. They're all fishing the cheat bus. I'm like, and I won't say the guy's name, but I was thrown off. I'm like, what? They're cheating? Oh, no, they're not really cheating, but they're on the cheat bus because they're all sharing info. And how do you think he got on that area of the lake and started throwing that? The day he doesn't catch nothing, and the next day he's got 20. Yeah, he's on. It's totally legal.
Right.
But is it right?
Oh, yeah.
Is it right? Is it ethically right in our sport? Now, should it be to the extreme that MLF had a few years ago, where you couldn't talk to anybody, like you were afraid to even have a conversation,
right, which is unenforceable.
Right, that it's unenforceable,
right.
And that was too far left. But to have this happen to me, I don't know that it's right for the sport. I'm just being honest, right?
Yeah, I hear you.
And again, I'm being hypocritical because I did it. So,
like you said, there's a major gray area on it.
Yeah,
and it's tough. I don't know. It's tough. Like you say, it's a tough situation.
Right.
I don't know. There's so many different things that it doesn't matter what I think any rule that's put in about it. If there was, I think there's going to be people that try to beat the rule.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you're going to be given, instead of 2 polygraphs, there's going to be 50 every time we have a tournament.
And a blood sample. Yeah, you're going to be giving blood samples.
That's a hard deal to do, man. Honestly, you got to really, really, really have some open trust with somebody that you're working with in that sense, and you got to really, really trust each other, because dude, it gets slimy quick. I said, dude, some of my best friends in the world, I love them, but they show up on the same grass line I'm fishing, I'm ready to fight, dude. Rob, if you're watching.
Exactly.
Just kidding. Love you,
It's not Rob. He's following Connor.
But it's crazy. It's such a gray area, and you can see it from both sides that, how do you enforce it?
I don't know. It's a tough topic. I'm glad we brought it up.
Yeah.
Luke, I appreciate your honest opinion on that. But let me say this.
Well, that was what the original MLF format, where you would show up to a place you didn't know anything about.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that's the one thing I did love about that over there. I love that you were on an even playing field, against the fish, right? I love that.
No practice.
But in saying that, the guys that are doing it themselves, I do really appreciate that a lot more.
I respect it more.
As many guys that are working together, there's just as many doing it like Luke, doing it by himself. So I do appreciate that a lot. I think it should be that way. I really do. Let me remind you, you guys are watching a brand new Ike Live show tonight. We've got Luke Palmer on a roll big time. If you've got a question for Luke, please hit us up here on the IMs, and we'll get it through. Jake, what else we got? Want to patch one or two more through to Luke before we let him go? What do you got?
Yeah, we got another one coming from Mac Attack.
Okay.
We talked about Sean. We talked about all the travel stuff.
Yeah.
And all the routines you got.
Yeah.
Got any superstitions or routines that you got every time you go fishing?
Oh, that's a good one. Luke, any superstitions?
He's a baseball player. This might get crazy. Let's go.
It's his face turn.
I don't know. I don't. Now, I got a couple of hats that I seem like I've caught better this year with.
Oh, dude, I know that one.
He's a hat guy.
Yeah.
But I still, they're sponsor hats, so I got to work them in back and forth, and even if I don't catch them with that hat, I still go ahead and throw it on there. But don't think it doesn't cross my mind sometime throughout the day, damn, I just had 33 with that Falcon hat on.
Yes.
So.
I have that superstition too. That's not unnormal.
I do.
I like, but this year I've burned all my hats. So what does that tell you? And I've shaved my beard, and that didn't fucking work either. What's next?
Well, to that point, these comments came through about 15 minutes ago on YouTube. Scott Easel says, Ike, you need a slump buster. But I don't think Becky would approve.
Oh God!
Becky would not approve of that kind of slump buster. There's other slump busters out there. I'll find one that's approved by her. Also, Luke,
I think it's good advice.
It is good advice
for some people.
For some people, it is.
Thank you, Scott, for that.
Luke, we've got a question coming through from our very own Pete Glusick, and he wants to know, Luke, how big of a role did forward-facing sonar play in your tournaments this year, especially where you were catching spawning fish? So have you used forward-facing sonar this year in the Florida events or at the Classic or at Santee, and has it helped you?
Can I lie on this one?
You can lie.
No.
No, Brian says no. You can't lie.
The last tournament, it was a major deal.
Wow.
Santee was a big deal.
Wow.
And they were spawners.
Probably 75 to 80%.
Wow.
Holy shit.
But Florida, not so much in Florida, because it's hard. You can see them in those pads, but it's tougher.
Yeah.
And I actually kind of tried to turn my stuff off in Florida because I was fishing so shallow, which it was so good that I caught 10 pounds a day, So it seemed like it didn't do much good at all for me. Harris Chain, I was flipping super shallow there too. So it didn't, the first two, but the Classic and the second one was definitely major. Probably both of them were 80% plus on both tournaments.
That's interesting to me because I think so many people assume that active target forward-facing sonar is only good out deep, right? You see so many guys in that 15 to 30-foot zone where it's important and it instantly hits you like, yes, I need that for deep water. Yeah. But you're telling our listeners and viewers right now that it's good for shallow water.
Yeah, I use mine. My first one I got is mainly for crappie fishing. That's big time around here.
Yeah.
I mean, crappie is like die hard, sell the farm, everything just to go crappie fishing for people. And I got it just for that. And so I started catching them a lot shallower and stuff like that, messing with it. But it's not easy. You look for complete opposite stuff. When you're looking out deep, you're looking for the fish, and with up shallow, you kind of look for more structure and stuff like that. And then you can eventually see the fish, but it's just more to help you find out where they're going to be setting and compared to actually looking directly at the fish and watching him eat your bait,
Gotcha. Yeah. So you were seeing stumps that are cypress knees and stuff like that you couldn't see with your eyes. It's helping you identify those areas. Could you actually see the beds themselves?
No, I couldn't see the beds. I could just see where the fish would keep going back to pretty consistently. So then it don't take when you can't see them. You know how much easier it is to catch them when you can't see them.
Right.
Yeah.
I
mean, if they're spawning and they can't see you, your odds go through the roof.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good. What do you set the range for when you're fishing shallow like that? What's the range?
I still shoot 50 to 55 feet normally.
Okay.
I'm still shooting pretty good ways out in front of me.
Luke, are you Lowrance or Garmin?
Garmin.
You're Garmin, okay.
Yeah, it's interesting. We here in South Jersey we have a lot of shallow water, and to me it gets a lot tougher as you get shallower to see the fish. You almost see them like, I call it worming around. It's like, because when you're deep, and the fish are off the bottom, it's kind of easy, But when you're in a shallow environment, you almost see them sort of like worming around the bottom.
Especially in Jersey. They're just like sliding in the black
death, you almost see like the bottom sort of start to kind of worm around a little bit.
Right.
It's interesting. Man, it's
going to be just like anything else, like 2D sonar, the learning curve on 2D sonar, like to be able to identify fish on that. It takes time. And
I was able to pick up live scope faster than I could 2D inside imaging.
I guess
That's
so.
terrible.
Live imaging, But dude, you said something there in seeing where the fish go back to. I don't want to get too BU on you here, but dude, that just bing.
Oh yeah. Spawn a fish. He wants to
There
return.
was-
It's going to return to its bed.
Oh yeah.
That's
There
what's
was one
going on,
tree
okay.
that I caught 2 5s and a 3 off of. But I caught the male was, first flip. Well, the female, the second one, it took me a few minutes to get her to bite, and the other one left. And I come back about 30 minutes later, and she pulled right back up to the tree, and I sat there, and first flip, I lost her. And then it took me about 15 minutes. I finally got her to bite again.
And
so it was.
These were fish you couldn't visually see.
You're going to make 2 flips and leave, So
it's crazy.
It was very interesting. I mean, but it was one of those special deals. Everything kind of lined up, and what I was fishing and the depth, it just it was right.
Yeah.
I mean, when it lines up for you to catch them like that, and there's no one else around you.
Yeah.
It's, that's just part of it.
Yeah.
It's
pretty incredible, man. Pretty incredible to see you using that shallow, and pretty incredible to see the success you've had, Luke, this year. I hope you keep it rolling. I said before you came on the show, for sure, to me, you're one of the future of the sport. So, man, I'm excited to have you on the show, and look forward to fishing with you the rest of the year for sure, man.
All right, I appreciate it. I'm glad you guys had me on, and it's been fun getting to see you guys back. And it's not as fun to get to fish against you guys. It's because y'all can catch them.
Well,
so I'm glad to see y'all back, but I'm not.
Everybody's just taking my money so far, so we'll see what happens in the last half of the season. But appreciate you coming on the show tonight, Luke.
All right, thank you guys. Y'all have a good one.
You're welcome. Luke Palmer, everybody. Yes.
That's good.
Yes. Riz, I see your eyes over there
my God.
lighting up about forward-facing sonar shallow.
I know, because we were just talking about how, everybody's going to be using forward-facing sonar out deep, and I'm going to have the bank to myself. Thanks, Luke. No, I'm not. Now I got to get forward-facing sonar, I guess.
It's a cool technology,
God.
man. It's a cool technology. I mean, I think there are times when, you can use it and have success and see things other guys can't see.
For sure.
And I still think there's times that you have it on it hurts you, so you have to decipher when to use it, when to leave it alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yada yada.
It's definitely there's definitely a balance there, because I mean I've seen it firsthand. I don't have that technology on my boat yet, but I think I will before the end of this year.
Yeah.
But there's definitely some stuff where you're gonna have to learn it, because you don't want to be learning it during go time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you're in a tournament, you want to be just relying on your fishing, not sitting there wondering oh, is that a bass or a drum or So it's crazy stuff, man. But
crazy.
that identifying them come off, I don't even want to keep talking about it. I'm worried about who's watching now.
Don't give too much away.
Yeah.
Like you said, that's for BU.
Rob's watching.
Yeah. Everybody's going to have active target on the flat out there now. It's going to be so much noise out there. It's like freaking like seals, like Shamu out there. Clicks and freaking whales.
And a guy sitting up against a leaning pedestal will still catch him just dragging a Senko, not even paying attention.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
Yeah. Smoking a cigarette, dragging away.
Smoking a cig, dude, just dragging a Senko.
Whatever.
That guy.
Yeah, that guy. Let me remind you, you're watching a brand new Ike Live. We just had Luke Palmer on. Awesome guest. We're going to take a break, Brian, in a second, and then excited to have Jason Christie coming on.
Jason's in the queue waiting.
Jason's in the queue waiting.
He's ready to roll.
All right. Sounds good. Perfect. All right. Hang in there with us.
Hold on, Mike.
Yes.
We got 5 AFCO hoodies.
Oh, yeah.
They look a lot like this thing.
Oh,
right
let me
here, I
see.
think.
Oh, here's a good look at these AFCO, Jason Christie AFCO hoodies we're giving away.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, they're awesome. Those things are dope.
It's a nice item.
Yeah, I've got a few of those.
Good for summer and winter, too. I mean, it's just
daytime,
nice.
nighttime.
Yeah, daytime, nighttime, water, anything.
All of it, Rich.
All of it. And like and share the feed. We're going to give away one of those. We'll do some questions and trivia in a second here. We'll give away a few of those.
Yes.
All right, hang in there with us, Brian. We'll take a break. Come back. We have Jason Christie on. Can't wait to talk to him. Is that right?
Yes.
All right, hang in there with us. When we come back, third segment of Ike Live.
Right now where we're standing, we're in Camden, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Philadelphia is right there. This is the concrete jungle. And, a lot of those kids, as they grow up, they don't fish. It's interesting because they're surrounded by water, the Delaware River, the Schuylkill, ponds, city park lakes, but they don't have the influence to cast, to fish, to have a rod and reel. And that became our focus, you know, is to target kids in what we call non-traditional areas, you know, urban areas, city centers, where the population's high, and let these kids have an experience. You know, it's amazing. I mean, some of the experiences we've had, whether it's Central Park in New York City, here in Camden, other parts of the country, even just casting.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable to see it, isn't it?
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
Yes.
And you know, you see these kids have this experience they've never had, and they light up, you know? The big thing, I think, for the Ike Foundation is we're not saying we want all these kids to become professional anglers.
No.
It'd be great if some of them did, but we want them to have that fishing experience because it ties them to so many other positive things. The outdoors, nature, conservation. Ecology, you know, all these amazing things in life that maybe they wouldn't have been exposed to any other way. We're trying to help with that. So it's important. It's important for us.
Yeah.
We're proud of it.
At Founders Brewing, we asked ourselves, what if we brewed a beer perfect for any occasion? A beer that makes a weekday feel more like the weekend, and the weekend feel more like an adventure. What if we brewed a beer that brought us together and allowed us to be ourselves? A beer that is just as much of a companion as it is a reward at the end of the journey. What if we explored the unknown together and found a new way? What if we celebrated taste and flavor and life's simple pleasures? And what if we brewed a beer that could go where you go without slowing you down? What if? Founders All Day IPA. Low ABV and full flavor that goes where you go. Chase your what if.
4.5-inch drop shot worm. Bama bug. Finesse jig, PB&J, give me something hard. Hey, KVD here. Now, I didn't always know this much about fishing. 4-aught EWG worm hook. In fact, there was a time when I couldn't tell the difference between a jerkbait and a stickbait. But then I signed up for Mystery Tackle Box, the original monthly tackle subscription. And now I know more about fishing than I do about calculus.
And he knows a lot about calculus.
Plus, I get amazing extras, like free fishing magazines. October 2016. Featured article, 4 places to throw a frog. Exclusive decals. Zombie bass. And how-to videos for all the great baits I receive. How to tune a crankbait. Is that underwater footage I smell?
I got goosebumps.
So if you're looking to develop enhanced fishing abilities like me, or you just like getting new tackle every month, go to MysteryTackleBox.com and get your box today. Ooh, live minnows. Is it lunchtime already? Nature's candy. Oh.
It's more than who you are. It's who you're with. And it's more than what you do. It's where you do it. Tin Cup Mountain Whiskey.
And we're back, Michael.
Wow. That was a quick comeback right there. It was like 30 seconds. 5, back.
Wow.
Huh.
1 minute.
Kind of
2
watch you
seconds.
guys.
It's how time is these days.
Is it?
Yeah,
It feels like
it's the
that.
new world that we live in.
The new world
Nothing makes
order.
sense.
Nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense, but what does make sense, Brian Carpenter, is we have Jason Christie coming on in a second. Very excited to have him on the show.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What also makes sense tonight is, dude, we're giving away 5 AFTCO Jason Christie hoodies.
Right,
tonight.
and none of us on the show get one.
We can't get
but
them.
we're giving them away.
We're giving them away. It's illegal for us to keep them.
We don't get them.
Well, we can make a phone call tomorrow about getting some. But
they look
tonight's
good.
5
Good.
we're giving away. And listen, all you have to do is like and share the feed. If you're watching over on social media, like and share the feed.
Yeah.
And ask some questions. If you got questions or comments for Jason coming up, ask them, comment, and as soon as Jason goes off, we're giving away 5 of them right away. So ask your questions. It's going to be good.
Yeah, and be funny.
And be funny. If you're not funny, we're not putting the questions through.
The more ridiculous, the better your odds.
That's right. All right. I don't want to wait any more. I want to get him on right now. And this probably is not getting old for him at all. Doing interviews is, but not this announcement. Joining us here on Ike Live is the 2022 Bassmaster Classic champ, Jason Christie.
Yeah.
Jason, that doesn't get old, that title.
I've been a professional bass angler
It can't
for
get
over
old to
20
you to hear
years,
that.
and nothing has ever
over
been
and
easy.
over to keep happening like that. Can't
I've
get
had
old, right?
highs.
It still sounds weird. I mean, whenever Mercer said it
And I've had some lows.
Santee, I just kind of did the double take. I'm like, are you sure you're? It just,
matter what
it still hasn't set in yet. I mean,
yeah,
it just hasn't. I don't know. It just, of course, you know the feeling. I don't know how it was for you, but it was just different, man. I mean, there's part of me that feels like it was 10 years ago, and there's part of me that feels like it was 30 minutes ago. It's just, I don't know. It's weird.
It's incredible. Mine was forever ago, and it's still, there are days when I walk into my office and, you're having a shitty day, you got a ton of work, you walk in the office, you're like, oh, fuck, I got to do this and that. And then I have my trophy sitting in there, and you see it, and you're like, oh, yeah, and it's like, I know for you, too, because I've heard you in other interviews, it was a goal and it was a dream for you since you were young. And it was the same for me. To accomplish that. So it's never going to get old. You're going to be doing a podcast 30 years from now. Somebody's going to introduce you as the classic champ, and it's not going to get old. It feels good, man. It feels good.
I think the best thing for me right now is I haven't, and I think this is the first time I've said this to anybody. Like, I really haven't. I don't know what I'm going to do. That was what drove me on everything, getting up in the morning and no excuses at Santee. I just got my teeth kicked in, but I just haven't, I don't know. I don't have a purpose now. I mean, one that's right in front of me. The obvious purpose is we'll go get 2 of them, go win a trophy. But it's easier said than done. You're just, like right now, I just need to find, I don't know, it's weird. I mean, I haven't been drinking, so if you think that. It's just a weird feeling right now.
Yeah, I can honestly totally relate to what you're saying, because I feel like in life, when you obtain those goals, and, especially the big ones, it is kind of like, what's next? I remember winning the Classic and winning Angler of the Year, and I had that same sort of thing, like, what do you do next, right? You're competitive, so you want to keep winning, and I wanted to keep winning, and I didn't think anything could ever get better, and when I won on the Delaware in 2014, that was special. That also was up there in rankings. So there'll be new ones that come, believe me. But here's the good news, Jason. Nobody could ever take that away from you. Forever and ever, you are a Bassmaster Classic champ, and that's a special thing. It is. That's a special thing.
It is. I haven't been outside the house much since I've been home. Took my dad crappie fishing yesterday, and on a Saturday, which I don't usually go to the lake on a Saturday, but it was just one of the only times I had to go, and we just went for a few hours. And you strategically think, well, where am I going to go fishing? And I go in a place where I'm not going to see that many people. And the boats would be idling by, and they'd be 200 yards over there. Then they'd get closer, they'd 50 yards, and every one of them would do the same thing, kill their engine. Man, good job on the tournament. Congratulations. We're proud for you. And that's where it's starting to sink in a little bit. You go into town, you run into people, and no matter where you go, you run into people that I don't even know. Hey, we watched, we followed, and it's that's what means a lot. I mean, I've done a lot of phone interviews and stuff, but the last few days have been catch up calls with like my buddies, so that'll cycle through in the next week, and then hopefully by the time we get to Chick, a lot of that stuff will be done and start thinking about fishing a little bit.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to shake it when something that big happens.
But dude, I'm not griping. I promise you, I'm not griping. It's the greatest thing. I mean, and I've said this several times. You take my family and friends and put them to the side. It's the greatest thing that's ever happened.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as achieving something, you work hard for it, you achieve it. And I played ball and I coached and all of that stuff. But, they're, for some reason, and I know now, I was pissed whenever I lost the first two. I got beat and lost and did stupid things. But now I know why all that happened, because it made this one. I don't think I would have appreciated it that much if I would have won it way back. But now, dude, like, to win an event, to win an elite event, you have to be super, super lucky. Not lucky, but it has to be your week.
Yeah.
But to win the classic, it has to be your week times 10. I mean, everything has to line up. And I felt it during the tournament. Whenever crazy things started happening that worked out in my favor, I was just like, man, things normally don't go my way like this.
Yeah.
I kind of thought that it was going to line up, and it did.
It was incredible. Brian Carpenter, do you have something? What do you got for Jason?
Just observing other athletes and seeing in other sports. I think, Rich, you could kind of identify with it. Like, there's that letdown. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The team makes it to they win the Super Bowl. They don't have that same passion and fire anymore after winning it. Or it's especially seeing it in following MMA and guys that get up and dude, after he loses he gets that title shot and he loses it. They lose like the next 2 or 3 fights. So it's just that adrenaline dump from.
Could be. I think there's some of that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of losing that focus.
Yeah. Here's what I want. I wanted to say this though real quick, because Jason, I hadn't told you this yet either. So this was the first classic that I actually got to watch as a fan in the arena. Of all the classics I've been to in my life, right? I never got to, even the ones I didn't participate in, I watched them from afar, like a monitor or something, right? But I was in one of the suites as all this was going down. And, dude, I was on the edge of my chair. I know you guys were. I know how you were probably nervous. You were white-knuckled. There were 3 of you that could have won, right? It was that close. And every fan in that arena with me, we were all on the edge of our seats, including me. And I remember... Here's the thing I remember. I remember watching that moment when you put them on the scales.
Yeah.
And that moment when and I don't know, Jason, if you've went back and watched it or not, but what I saw is I saw excitement, but I saw relief in your face.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to describe it to you, but as a fan, I saw this relief come over you, like 1,000 pounds had been lifted from your shoulders. Dude, it was so amazing to watch it. And if you haven't watched it, you have to go back and look at your face, because I'm telling you, it was incredible, man. And I could almost feel it with you, like, just like that big sigh of relief. Is that what it felt like the moment it happened?
Exactly. And you're like me, I'm sure. You're trying to decide if you're going to win or lose. And if you're going to win, you're starting to try to think about what you're going to say. And if you're going to lose, you're going to think about that. And this deal, man, like, I just didn't know. And I'm out there. I'm like, well, you might not win, so you need to be prepared. You might win. What are you going to say? Well, I don't know, because I'm probably going to lose. It's just one of those deals. But whenever I was standing there, and Mercer said that what I needed, 17.5. We all as anglers know where the box is, where it's going to come up.
Yeah.
And it flashed, and before Mercer can even say anything, it it just like I didn't practice any of it. It was just, dude, I could have ran off that stage and ran through the wall.
I love that.
It's how fired up I was, and you know it. And I think I don't know who maybe I told Zona this. I don't remember, but like whenever I knew I'd won, it was like all of those experiences and all of those years in 2 seconds just flashed through my mind. You know, losing, winning, you know, trying harder, getting beat, you know, all of that stuff. It just rolls through your mind. And then a lot of people seen me go over and everybody said, well, he's going to throw up or pass out or whatever. That was actually the moment that I realized that my kids weren't there, you know, and that's where I just had to kind of say, because they were there the times before, they've been there when I've won some, but that's where I just had to kind of catch my breath, you know, and that was after all the stuff that happened on stage. Dude, that was the first thing that we did. We got back behind the stage and we FaceTimed the kids, and they're freaking balling and just stuff. But no, you're right. There was all different kinds of emotions going through, and that was all raw. There was none of it that was that rehearsed or any of that stuff.
Wow.
I was so excited. Just I don't know. I mean, I like I said, I could have ran through a wall. And I'd still be running if I could have ran through that wall, though.
So
it was awesome. It was awesome.
So Jason, I the first classic I ever attended was the one at Hartwell last time, where you were leading or going into the final day and it was close and you didn't win. I attended that classic not as an industry person, and so to see you win, you know, now in 2022, it's my third, fourth. I can't even keep track of how many classics it's been now. And for the company, like, we had a really great event. It was just special in that. But I noticed something about you coming through the Expo Center, and I actually said it to one of the guys I work with. I said, man, last time we were here and Jason came through in his boat, he was sitting down, and you could see it on him. This time, you had there was a different expression on, like, I could tell. I was like,
different energy.
I was like, dude, he's got him. I was like, it's over.
It's awesome.
I was like, he's freaking got him right now. Like, you kind of had like the half grin going, like you knew it was going to be close, but it was almost like, you know, a few years ago, it might have been like you felt like you left something on the table because you didn't have your 5-fish limit. This year, you did, and like whether you won or lost this one, man, you went down swinging. You came in with a bag, and it was going to be close. Like, how different did it feel just knowing going to the expo, like, you handled your business? There is no unfinished business now because you handled it. Like, how did that feel walking up on the stage with Mercer?
Dude, I mean, it was obviously if you could buy that or if you could sell it, you'd be a billionaire. That's just that feeling and all that stuff. But, you know, in 18, like you said, I just, you know, I made a bad decision on the last day and it just snowballed. But, you know, a lot of people talked about the cameraman, Jake. He rode with me all 3 days in 18. And the first day of the classic this year, like, I got my back turned to the dock and I'm tying something up, and this dude walks up and he goes, "Hey, I'm your cameraman today." And I recognized the voice, never even looked at him. And I said I wouldn't have it any other way. And he started laughing and he got in the boat. But I say that because he was the biggest cheerleader throughout the event. You know, I've watched some of the footage, you know, like doing the interviews and stuff, and I'm fishing or I'm fighting one, and I can hear him under his breath, "Come on, you know, come on, come on."
That's awesome.
That's awesome, man.
You know, about noon the last day, he got quiet on me. And, you know, as anglers, we kind of know what's happening. You know, I'm like, we're not doing good because they're not talking to us. And, you know, I culled a couple of times just with a few minutes left. And I could tell on the second one that he was like, that he got fired up. But he still didn't say anything. And we're we run in and we shut down, and we have to idle about 100 yards. Anyway, I checked in, and I'm idling, and I'm telling myself, I was like, dude, you have fished for 3 days. You haven't lost a fish.
Yeah.
Things worked out in your way. You're probably not going to win, because I didn't have that 20-pound day that I thought I needed to have on the last day in order to win. And I was telling myself that. And Jake's over there, and he's got his earpiece in his ear. And he takes his earpiece out, and he goes, and I was fine. I was calm with maybe going to probably lose. He takes his earpiece out, and he goes, dude, how much weight do you really think you have? And I said, it doesn't matter. I said, 16 and a half. And he puts his earpiece back in, doesn't say anything to me, puts his earpiece back in. He pulls it out. He says, do you think there's any way you could have 17? And when he said that, like because I knew that if they're talking about it, then I have a legitimate chance. I have a chance. Yeah. And I was like, I might have 17. I haven't looked at a couple of them since this morning. And that's when I started getting nervous. And, from there to the drive to the arena, the last time when I lost, Jake rode with me. This time he didn't. So I'm driving, and nobody's texting me. Nobody's doing anything. And, I look at Bass Track, and it's got me in third. My parents are there. Shanna's there at the arena. And I thought, I ought to text them and just let them know it's going to be closer than what Bass Track shows it to be. And then I typed the text out to Shanna, and I was getting ready to hit send. And I was like, no, I'm not. Yeah, that's so I didn't talk to her, dude. I didn't talk to anybody. Jacob Prosnick texted me when I was driving and said, what you got, bub? Other than that, I didn't talk to anybody. But, I'm listening to guys weigh in, and when Stetson weighs, I'm like, it's still going to be close, because Kyle had told me that he had less than what he did. And then when he weighed in, I was just like pulling in there. Dude, it was 50-50. And my luck in the past, I really thought I was going to be a little bit short. But, man, like I tell you, if I remember one thing about the Classic when I'm 80, it's going to be those numbers flashing on that screen. And I felt, how so I had 17.9. Well, that 9 could have been a 3. How stupid would I have looked if I would have went all crazy and it would have been 17.3 and I lost?
That would have been amazing. That would have made for my most favorite Classic.
That would have been like when Gerald stepped in the live well at the Classic. Yeah.
Yeah, not mine. That wouldn't have been famous.
I guess not. Yeah.
No, I get that wouldn't be.
There's just so many things that happened, and
dude, but you didn't lose a fish all week.
No,
you ain't losing that Classic, man.
Awesome. No, it was awesome. Things got to go your way.
Yeah,
things got to go your way. But
I got to tell you a story about a fish.
Yeah,
because you guys will understand it. I mean, you'll kind of get it when things are going your way. So the first day, I roll into a dock, and it's an ugly dock. It's the only one around. It's on the main lake. I know nobody's fished it, and I kind of expect where he's going to be. Anyway, I make a flip, and he kind of handcuffs me, and I lose him. It's like a 4-pounder, 4.5.
Ooh.
And I was like, dadgummit, well, I still had 17. Well, the next morning, we're coming through there on Saturday, and I stop and I make that same pitch, and he doesn't bite it. Well, I'm swimming my jig back, and he kind of handcuffs me again. And I jerk, and he comes to the top of the water, and he comes off. And I was like,
maybe we did lose fish.
Yeah, I was like, that's a 4.5 pounder. That afternoon, we were coming back, and I already had 17 or 18. And I looked at Jake, and I said, Jake, what's the chances of that fish biting again? I lost him the first 2 times on the jig. He goes, 0. Ain't going. So I roll in there, and I stop like 50 yards from the dock, and I get my spinning rod out, and literally, like, I can barely hit the water with a spinning rod. But I skipped that thing up there, and it landed perfect. And I picked up, and I'm like, nah, you're right, he ain't going to bite. And I picked my poles up, and I was like, I'm going to ease on up there. And I eased up there. And, dude, I made the same flip that I did the morning and the day before with the same jig, and he just act like he had never seen a bait, and had it swallowed to his gullet. 4.5 pounds.
Crazy.
Yeah.
When that kind of stuff happens, and then you get back and you hear Kyle, losing 6s and 5s, but when it happens like that, you just like, it's supposed to happen.
Meant to be. Meant to be. I believe in that. I really do.
For sure.
You brought something up I want to expand on a little bit, and I want to be honest with you and let you know that I got to do Saturday's segment of live with Zona and Tommy. So cool being in the arena, and I got to commentate for a little bit. It was a unique experience for me to commentate on what you guys were doing. And if you didn't already hear, I got to be honest and tell you something that I said. Z said to me, "What's the strangest thing about this classic so far? Is it the weather? Is it the way the lake's setting up? What is it?" And I was like, "It's got to be Jason with a spinning rod in his hands." I said that on national TV, but it was strange for a lot of people. And I want you to talk about that. Luke Palmer, we just had Luke on, and Luke said he didn't own a spinning rod till 4 years ago. Most hardcore bass heads in Oklahoma don't have a spinning rod. Talk a little bit about that, because when I look at that classic, that was a huge thing for me. Looking at that win was your versatility and your ability to do that thing in the morning, to do something that people aren't used to seeing you do. Talk a little bit about that. I want to hear where that came from.
I think the biggest thing on that is the bait. So I've been playing with that bait for 6 or 7 years. I know 6 for sure. And during the winter time here, I only took 2 guys fishing in 6 years that I showed the bait, and they were sworn to secrecy. And I trust these guys like as much as I do anybody. And it was just the confidence. And actually going into the classic, whenever I left home, it was freaking cold here. And leading up to the classic, I wanted it to be cold. I wanted to fish deep the whole time because I had so much confidence in that bait. Well, then we roll out there, because I knew, we fished a couple classics there. We fished a lot of tour level events. A lot of the locals had watched the shows, watched us fish. I just didn't feel like I could win at shallow, solely shallow, just because there was going to be so much traffic in those areas. And,
right.
I remember whenever we left Florida, I actually left Florida and drove straight to Hartwell so I could stay there for 5 days before the classic started, because I wanted to I just wanted to get everything dialed in. And, it was funny. I remember a couple of days before practice even started, Shanna said something like, you're kind of in one of those moods. And I was like, hey, it's the classic. And I wasn't being a butt. I was just, I'm sitting there the whole time thinking, running things through my head and stuff. And she goes, I was with you in the classic or, the tournament the last time or the last tournament, and you weren't like this. I'm like, this one's different.
Yeah.
This one is at a place that I know, and it's, but anyway, as that event got closer, it started warming up, and I'd still wanted to fish deep, and I felt like that gave me the best chance. And to top it all off, like the dock fish just weren't firing much in the morning. I mean, you could watch live and it would just get better and better each minute throughout the day.
Yeah.
So I was it was the easiest decision. Hey, let's go fish deep a little bit. But I'm pretty comfortable with the spinning rod, honestly.
Yeah.
But I just need to be open. I'm not comfortable like fishing around bushes or anything, or docks or anything like that with it. But open water, like I'm pretty comfortable with it.
Yeah. Where did you practice with that, Jason? What lake?
10 Killer.
At 10 Killer.
Yeah. So if you don't know it, it looks like a small table rock. It's where I live. It's about 20,000 acres, 18,000 acres, has a high population of smallmouth. And, just in the event last winter, I fished 4 events and we weighed 81 pounds of smallmouth and never caught a 5-pounder. So, wow. I mean, and we're winning these events and we're catching, we're culling 15-pound bags, and there's guys that don't even, a lot of people don't even catch the limit. Right. So I knew the bait was, and live scope. I mean, dude, you just learn those two things together, live scope and the bait, and give me cold weather and clear water.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna be able to catch some.
How long did it take you to really understand forward-facing sonar? Because for a lot of guys, including me, I don't feel like I have it mastered yet. It seems like a younger thing, right? It seems like, young anglers can really gravitate toward it and learn it quick. How long did it take you to get the confidence in forward-facing sonar?
Minutes.
Dude,
the first tournament that I really looked at him, I won on St. Clair, the Elite Series.
Wow.
Now, that was Panoptics. The only difference, I shouldn't say the big difference between Panoptics and Live Scope was Panoptics was 2D. Live Scope is more of a 3D look. Right. I remember getting it kind of late spring, but we're always on the bank. And then I get to St. Clair and it was just like, I say this, it was like rabbit hunting in Walmart parking lot. There's nowhere to hide.
I love that analogy.
Yeah, there's nowhere they could hide. You just had to cast and get close to them, and they would bite it. Well, winning that event, I started playing with it, and we do a lot of crappie fishing, like January, February, and that was the best practice. You get out there, and if you can make a crappie bite when he doesn't want to bite, you can make a bass bite any day.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I feel like some of these guys, that's all they want to do. I'm not like that. I'll use it whenever I think it's going to have a chance to win, but which nowadays is about 80% of the time.
Wow. That's crazy.
Apparently Brian's trying to take out our hearing.
Oh, Brian is?
What is that?
That's not me. It's somebody's texting Jason while he's doing the show.
Yeah, is that what it is?
Yeah.
I don't even know how to turn it off, Shannon. I think Shannon.
That's awesome.
I blamed.
See,
Brian.
I love that. That's reality right there. Jason's one of the best anglers with forward-facing sonar with Garmin.
He
but
figured that out in 2 minutes.
Yes, 2 minutes, but he can't shut the ringer off on his phone. I like that.
He sounds just like you, Mike. He's like, blame Shanna. Becky, why can't I find this hotel?
That's right.
Becky, why am I lost?
I blame Beck for everything.
Everything wrong in the world is
everything
my fault.
wrong in the world. That's right. Let me remind you, we've got 2022 Classic Champ Jason Christie online. If you're watching tonight, if you're listening, you got a question or a comment, please send them through. Also, because we're giving away some of Jason's great AFCO hoodies tonight. So if you've got some questions, comments, let's let some through here.
Hit him up.
What do we got? Jake, give us some.
I got a question coming from Facebook, and we know that Jason was chasing the Classic for a lot of years. What's the new goal now? The new unfinished business coming from Tim Hammock.
From Tim. All right, Tim, you just won yourself a sweatshirt.
Wow.
New unfinished business. Jason, what do you got?
It's that easy.
Well, I think that being home the last couple of weeks, I've kind of caught my breath a little bit. Obviously, I have the freedom the rest of the year just to go fishing. I'd love to get another trophy this year. But I think after winning the Classic, you get a taste of what it's like, all of the attention and stuff and the sponsors and all of that stuff, how good it is for them. I mean, dude, I would tell you right now, like, I haven't went and practiced for a pre-practice for a Classic in, 10 years, 8 years. I will be on the Tennessee River during deer season, looking like it's all about that now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to make a run at Angler of the Year. It's just the way that I fish, it's just hard to win that title. I mean, I'm just not everybody knows I do, like Santee, I do stupid stuff every now and then.
Yeah.
And, but I mean, I'd like to do that, but I think the big goal now is to I don't want to the classic trophy sitting on the manload there. I don't want to disrespect that thing at all. Like I want to appreciate that, but by George, this fall, like that's what I'll be going after.
Yeah, as you should, could happen.
Hey, one of the coolest things I just thought of that happened at the classic, and I don't know if you had made it to the party in time, was Bob Cobb introducing me.
That was awesome. Oh my gosh, that was so awesome.
Yeah,
that was amazing. Actually, yeah, it was before you came in the hotel. You know, a lot of us were at the bar, waiting for you to get there, and I looked over, and I can't remember who was there, but I looked over and I did a double take. Sitting on the couch was Bob Cobb. He was sitting on the couch.
Yeah, Bob.
And I was like, "Oh no, that's Bob. Is that Bob?" So I went over and talked to him, dude. That was awesome, wasn't it? It was awesome seeing him. Yeah.
I mean, dude, whenever I was a kid, and no matter what you were doing, when you heard that voice, you dropped everything. Because back then we didn't have DVR and all that kind of stuff. You dropped whatever you were doing, and you went to the TV. I mean, and for him to, to get to meet him and then him introduce me, that was pretty cool.
That was super cool. That was super cool. I talked to Bob and shook his hand, and he remembered who I was. And I reminded him, I don't know if he remembered, so I reminded him the last commentary he did on a show was the Bass National, the Federation National Tournament that I won in Shreveport back when I was an amateur. That was the last bass show he commentated on before he retired, which was 98. So it was so cool.
Wow.
Like it felt a little full circle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To talk to him, and then
first year back to bass.
Yourself.
Yeah, I did date myself. I know I'm an old guy, but who cares? I don't care. Jake, what else we got coming through? Let's get another good one for Jason.
Scott Easel on YouTube said BTC is what was it?
The lifeblood of the show.
What was the other
and a
comment?
superpower in the fishing industry.
Well, he doesn't win anything for that.
No, neither do I.
Neither of you guys win anything for that dumb one.
Dang. I got another question coming in. And it's been asked numerous times. Did the aluminum play at all over a fiberglass rig? One of the guys running aluminum.
That's a good question.
Aluminium.
Yeah. Talking about the boat, Jason. How has that boat helped you in the last few years?
What's the initials of the person that asked that question?
I'll get you a couple. There's a couple.
Couple.
Who's asking for a reason?
Oh, is there
somebody trying to fish 10 killer?
No, I was just curious. So I think I would imagine if somebody woke up Monday after the classic and saw Christie wins classic in an aluminum boat, they'd be like, dude, he went in the back of a creek, he jumped a beaver, and he got in a pond.
Doing Delaware River shit.
That win happened last year. I think the cool thing about this event is it shows that, the typical aluminum, stereotype or whatever you want to say is not that. I mean, you can go out there. I started every morning in 32 foot of water out there fishing deep, just like every other bass boat has the same capability.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the cool things about it. I can get up there and jump stumps. That thing slides over a stump like you would not believe. I can really do whatever I want to do with it. So,
right on.
It just fishing out there deep. And like I said, last year on the Sabine, just being able to run up that river and knowing that if I can keep my lower unit together, the boat's going to be fine.
Yeah.
That came to us from Andy Leonard.
Andy Leonard. Okay, Andy Leonard, you just won yourself a sweatshirt, Andy. Good question.
Andy.
That's a good one. All right, I've got my own question, Jason.
Yes.
I asked Luke this, and I want to ask you this. And you're coming off a shitty tournament at Santee. I came off a shitty tournament. I've actually had all shitty tournaments this year. In fact, it's the worst start to a tournament year I've ever had in my career.
Most shittiest
ever, if that's a word.
It's an award.
Is an award. I get the award. Jason, my question to you is, I'm in a slump. I'm doing dog shit. I can't catch a fish. If there were 10 10-pounders that moved up fresh to spawn, I wouldn't catch one of them. That's how bad I feel right now. How do I get out of this slump? How do I change my path for the rest of the year? Give me some advice on how to get out of a slump.
That's the hardest thing, and I'll be lucky. I mean, I'm really lucky to say that I've had some terrible finishes over the years, but I usually am able to come out of them at least the next tournament, or at worst the following tournament. The only advice that I can give you, like I can give you any advice, is I feel like the harder you try, the harder it is to come out of that.
Right.
You know, you can't like say, well, by George, this week I'm gonna map study 3 times as much, and I'm gonna be at the ramp 30 minutes before. I think that you just got to not think about it, and which is hard to do, and just go fishing and know that whether you catch them or not, you know, your electricity is going to be on the next day. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing, is just not try to think about it.
Right.
Not do anything any different. I mean, obviously you've had a successful career doing what you do. It's just bad luck.
Yeah, but not sight fishing and not in Florida.
Yeah,
that's all it is, dude. You're not in a slump. You just these did not line up in your wheelhouse.
I don't know.
Oh, stop
It's
it.
Mike.
It's Mike.
It's Mike.
Yeah.
Mike stubs his toe, and the world is ending. It's the worst day ever. I think I have an infection all the way up to my thigh.
Exactly. Jason's on here with his classic win, and Mike's making it about him. And
No, I was asking his opinion. I'm not making it about me. I was asking his
typical
opinion.
Mike.
Dude,
whatever.
I heard something on a podcast last week. I forget which show it was, but it was exactly like hitting the nail on the head with this. And it was I actually wrote it down. It was work.
He wrote it in his iPhone notes.
It was work as hard as you can, be prepared, and control what you can control.
Yeah.
And the last part of that, the control what you can control, is what really stood out to me. Because, like, I can't control that tomorrow it's going to be a high of fucking 28 degrees.
Yeah.
It sucks,
Yeah.
but I can't control it.
Yeah.
But you know what I can control? Next time I go out, I'm going to make sure everything that I need, or I think I might need, is going to be where it's supposed to be in my truck, in my boat. You know, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about anything on this, but you know,
I like that
just
advice.
control what you can control.
I like
you
that
know?
advice, and I like Jason. I like your advice about just not overthinking it. You know, I think I just got to keep fishing and not worry about it, and just keep going. And I think you're right. You know, and at the end of the day, I think what's getting me through it, and I'm not as crushed as I would have been in the past, is having these bad events, and at the end of the event, at least I could say, well, at least I'm not fishing MLF.
Yeah.
You know?
Awesome. That's
Could be worse.
One thing that I did, I remember once, and I actually need to do this again, is I took about 80% of the stuff out of my boat.
Oh,
Like,
Oh,
I'm
there
like,
you go.
we got to simplify this. And what he said, as far as control what you can control, that's the truth. But the least amount of options you have in your boat, I mean, it just makes it simple. And
true,
dude, it's always simple. Like, I get beat at Santee. I mean, I catch one bass, and dude wins with 100 pounds. And after 2 days, you're like, they're drop shot in the trees, or they're doing. And dude, it's simple. Like flipping a jig. Sight fishing. It's simple. There's no mad scientist equations behind bass fishing. It's simple.
Yeah.
There's no lonelier place in the world than having your foot on the trolling motor when you can't figure out what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
And other guys are catching them.
Yeah.
That is the worst place in the world, because you guys competing out on tour, you are only relying on you when you're on the front of a boat. And like, people that watch the show a lot know that one of the things that I do other than fishing is, like, I like to hang in boxing gyms and do that. And I tell the fighters, like, I'm like, dude, I can relate with you just a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, not much, but a little bit, because, like, when they're in the ring, it's them. When you guys are on the front deck of your boat, it's just you.
Yeah.
And when you're up there, guess what? Nobody's going to come to help you 6 hours into a tournament, and you got one, and the guy behind you has 30 pounds, and he's crawling on your neck. Like, it's a tough thing to do.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
Boxing gyms. This is so interesting.
Beck
But
wants to
listen,
know more about that.
I'm
now.
going to give everyone a word of marital advice.
Oh.
I'm going to go back a second here
Okay.
to
Here
the
we go.
last thing that Michael said.
Okay.
Get yourself a wife who's not sensitive.
Yeah.
He just informed the world that the thing that makes everything at the end of a bad tournament is not that he gets to come home to his family. It's about where he's not fishing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was second. The MLF thing was first. Coming home to you and the kids was second.
Or second.
Yeah,
This
you're
is
second.
amazing.
Nah.
This is so
I mean,
good.
everything tops not having to fish over there
Oh,
anymore.
man.
BTC's Glida on the message board said Becky needs to cut Ike off for motivation.
Oh God! All right, let's. I want to change topics, Jason.
I bet
One
you
more.
do.
I got one more thing. Yeah, I want to get away from that. I got one more thing that I had in my notes that I wrote that I mentioned before that I just wanted to tell you because now we got a chance to have you live on the podcast. So I want to tell you this, and this is the analogy, and it may have been Brian. I can't remember who I was talking to about this. Maybe it was you, Beck. That people from Oklahoma guys and Jersey guys are very similar. Now,
similar?
Similar.
Okay.
Very, very
Jason's
similar.
head was like, huh?
Yeah, I'm going to explain it.
He said, do what now?
I'm going to explain
Was it the similar part or the part about us being similar?
Similar. However you say that word. I can't say it right. And here's let me explain it a little bit because I've always, Jason, what I've always appreciated about you and mostly everyone I know from Oklahoma is like you guys, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, you say what you say. You don't hide behind anything.
That's true.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that upfront nature is a very Oklahoma thing, which I love.
Okay.
Because I really feel like Jersey's like that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Jersey's like no bullshit. Like here it is, lay it out. Here's how I feel. It is what it is. If you don't fucking like it, and Oklahoma, would you agree with that, Jason?
Yeah, I mean, dude, if I got a problem with you, I'm going to tell you.
Exactly.
I get it now.
Yeah.
Like Southerners and other people, like they feel
Uh-oh.
they feel the need to do that, like preemptive. What? Why are we?
No, not all, but
All
other,
of the South,
other,
Becky
No,
said.
I'm not.
No, not all.
Jeez.
No, other
But it's-
places
but
hide
other-
behind.
Yeah,
yes,
they
yes.
do. They hide behind that whole like they say something really nice just to say something really mean to you.
Yeah.
Which I think throws off those of
Yeah.
us that are kind of more straight shooters. We're like, why didn't you just say it?
Yeah.
Well, see, that makes sense now because Jason pretty much told me to F off at the Classic one year.
Yeah.
And
That's exactly right.
Now I appreciate it a lot more.
You should appreciate
That's why
that.
we get along with Mark Jeffries.
Right.
Yeah.
You should appreciate that.
Yeah.
You should appreciate that.
Just think about how much the world would be a better place if everybody spoke their mind.
It would
True.
too.
Yeah.
True, man.
It would.
Yeah.
Do you find that you're not really sensitive to what people say to you either? Like it doesn't
Oh,
faze me when people tell me
I'll be
things.
sensitive for a little. I mean, like it depends on who it is. If it's a girl, it might hurt my feelings. If it's a guy, it won't bother me.
Same. Dude,
I
what?
respect
Yeah,
that.
I
I
can relate
respect
with
the
that a
shit
lot,
out of that.
actually. Holy crap.
Yeah. I mean, Jersey's little, Oklahoma's huge. We're 1,000 miles apart, but very similar.
Yeah.
Similar.
Capital U.
I'm sorry.
I'd like to know what other things we have in common with Oklahoma.
I don't know.
I
There
want
might
to
be
know,
more.
Jason, what's the first thing you went out and bought yourself with your big
Oh!
old check?
Becky just won a sweatshirt.
A new bow.
After the sweatshirt.
He bought a new bow.
I haven't bought a single thing.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
So we're getting ready to start building a new house, and I
There you
mean,
go.
Well, that counts.
Yeah, that does count.
but we haven't started. But I'm just not that. I'm kind of looking at some land that
There you
came
go.
up for sale, so I might buy that. But
He probably
I'm
hasn't
just-
had time from all the shitty
I
podcasts
know.
he's had
I
to do.
should- yeah, I know.
no, I haven't bought anything, and I really don't have anything I need to buy. I'm pretty good.
Right on.
That's awesome. All right, one last question, Jason.
So
And
Becky didn't
this
win.
one comes from Pete Glusick. Pete can't win either. Pete Glusick says, Jason, congrats on your engagement. And his question is, what do you think about Bobby Lane's win today on Grand and his last-minute clutch catch of that 2-pounder?
Saving the whole entire fishing industry.
Saving the whole world from who knows what. But
so, dude, I like Bob. And what I like about him is if you're his buddy, you're always his buddy. It doesn't matter if you go fishing in another organization or wherever you're at. But he was one of the first guys that texted me after I won the Classic.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was glad to see him win. I was on a mower, and whenever I got on the mower, I think Connell the standings were nothing like that. When I came in, you know, I was like, oh my gosh, who won? It was like 5:30. And I looked, and Bob won, and dude, it was close. Like the first, where I was glad for him. He, my truck broke down once, like right when I first started, and I stayed with Bob for like a week in Florida. Him and his wife were about to kill me. They wanted me out of there, but he's a good dude. I'm glad for him. I was trying to think so he's won an Elite Series event, and then this is the next win that's the only other win that I know of, right?
Yeah, he's had a lot of close calls. I think last year he had a couple close calls, but this is a big win for him.
I was glad to see him win, and I always think of it as, man, would that money do somebody a lot of good? And I know Bob, that's going to change his life, and he has a cool family, so I was glad for him.
Yeah. Me too. Me too.
I love me some Bobby.
Yeah, he's a good dude. He's a good dude.
And Madeline. Good people.
Yeah. And you guys share the titles this year in respective leagues, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah. I'll share it with Bob. I'll share it with anybody, dude.
That's awesome.
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring. Jason, thank you for coming on the podcast tonight, man. I know you're swamped. I know you got a million things going on. You're still trying to soak it all in. So appreciate you coming on the show. Congrats again, dude. It was a great win, great victory. So happy for you, man. And we'll see you in a week down the road.
Yeah, I think you and I need to bounce back next week.
I think you're right. I think I need to get out of my slump, and next week's a good way to start.
So I think a good way to do that, we'll just have a signed dollar bill, you and I.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I like that.
I get a Ike signed dollar bill, and if vice versa. So
I
like it.
You heard that first on Ike Live, everybody. Signed dollar bill exchange happening in the next tournament.
I like it.
Hey, maybe that'll keep your mind off the other stuff, but you'll probably win the event. So
that's awesome. Thanks for coming on tonight, Jason.
All right, man. Y'all have a good night.
All right, you too. Jason Christie, everybody.
Awesome.
Yes. Yes. It's awesome. He didn't buy anything, Beck. You were wanting something extravagant, like a Lambo.
Yeah, I was with Rich. No, I was with Rich. Like, is it like new hunting gear you wanted, or
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, that's a lot of money. But I think
it's probably been a whirlwind, though.
Has been
honestly.
a whirlwind.
Like, how much downtime has he really had?
Has been a whirlwind. And I think at the time in his life when he won, he is older. He's he's more. You know what I mean? He's
got kids.
Yeah.
He's getting remarried.
Yeah.
Like,
I think he's now. Had he been in his 20s, or you know what I mean, it'd been Maserati, Lambo, Slump Busters.
Because even when you won the Philly event, like think about it, when you won the Philly event, it's not like there was any major purchase that happened.
Nah.
What's your thoughts on Slump Busters, Beck?
Slump Busters.
That's a question on YouTube.
What's that mean? Like
ways to get out of a slump.
Ways to get out of a slump.
Yeah, how do you get out of a slump?
Tell her, Jake.
The definition is going to the bar and picking up an easier one, and that gets you out of your slump.
Busters.
Look at you, Jake.
Jesus.
Wow.
Okay.
I'll just stay
that
in my
sounds
slump.
like a 20-something-year-old podcast.
Oh, dude, that was.
Right.
So anyway.
Somehow we got.
You
back
just
to
got to
Slump
keep
Busters.
on casting. That's the only answer.
Yeah.
You know, got to just cast your way out of it.
Yeah.
Man, that was cool though to have Jason on, because he really is another guy that, like you, Mike, he's been around the block. He's been through the ranks. So to get you guys together, like you've both had your extreme highs in your career. He's, you've had the down points, obviously, and you've seen it from all angles. Like when Brian told me the other night that we were going to have him on and be on the show, I was like,
yeah, it's pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
That was good.
It was awesome, and he's a great champ. Like we went to the toast, and you can sort of eyeball up people, when they win, and like been at that Champions Toast every year except last year. It was the only year, like literally in like 22 years.
Yep.
And some guys win, and you're kind of like, fuck, he ain't a good guy, and he's not going to do nothing with that. And you look at Jason, you're like, man, he deserves it. He's a good dude.
He's a grinder.
And I think he'll be a good champion. I think he'll do good things.
For sure.
So
For sure.
It's awesome. Let me remind you, you're watching a brand new Ike Live. The good news is we got one more segment left. We gave away 2 sweatshirts. We're going to give away. Did we give away 2 or 3? I can't remember. We gave away 2. We're going to be giving away 3 more in the final segment. Plus, let me remind you, like and share the feed over on social media, and you're going to have a chance to win the Ike Live gift bag.
This is the 3rd, by the way.
This is the 3rd?
Yeah. But we're in the final segment, so it makes sense. Yeah.
Oh,
so fast forward to now. We're in the final segment.
Oh, we're in the final segment.
So let's get some winners.
Okay,
I'm
let's
here,
get
you're
some
here,
winners.
we're here.
All right. So
we got Powerbait Paul. We got Unbox and pick the winners.
all right. Well, let's do
We
the
haven't even done
unboxing.
Paul yet?
No, we didn't do Paul yet, but let's do the unboxing.
Can I tell you all a funny story?
Yeah.
That's not very funny.
Okay.
Why I'm so late?
Yeah.
Yes.
So Drew was hanging out with us.
Yeah, Drew
our
was hanging out.
oldest, and she was getting an Uber to go home, and we waited for an hour. Every Uber and Lyft driver canceled.
Really?
Canceled. Finally, we're waiting. There's a driver coming. She and I are like, oh my gosh, there's one coming.
Yeah.
Comes down the driveway. We have a really long driveway. Gets to the top of the circle. We have a circle at the bottom towards the house.
And a moat.
Quick, gets to there, does a K-turn, goes back up the driveway as fast as possible.
No.
And speeds away. And she and I are out there, like, under the lights of the garage. And we're like, no, where are you going? And canceled and drove off. So we got another driver. This one actually showed up.
Why are they all canceling?
Yeah,
I don't get it.
I don't know. I was like, do we look like a horror movie? Do we like what? I don't know. But for an hour, they canceled that one. Like, who pulls up at the house and then cancels?
Yeah, right.
That's weird.
That's
Yeah.
like serious. That's like serious, like being scared of commitment, like getting like right outside and like I'm gonna do it,
You're
and
like
then
at
you
the
cancel.
altar and
Yeah.
run. Yeah.
They heard the guard dog.
Probably.
Could
No,
be.
he wasn't even there.
Oh.
Nothing. Isn't that bizarre? So that's why I was so late.
Bizarre.
But she's home, so
She's home.
it's all good.
Okay,
But
it is all good.
for an hour.
That is weird.
All good.
That's why I drove to the Classic.
Shut up.
Yo, we had a person come through the IMs. Jake let a question comment come through the IMs and verified that Brian purposely missed his flight.
Shit. You wish. I was there.
I was there in boots,
No, my
sweating
favorite
In
was
boots.
profusely.
Here we go.
if you're a self-proclaimed don't fly often person, who just like shows up at a massive airport like it must be A. I must go to A. Like who doesn't check
I don't
that?
know. When you pull up and you said, yeah.
Or
A busy person does, Beck.
or
A busy person.
Rich, Jocelyn, people waiting at the gate. Hey guys.
I did. After
Where
I
are
went
ya?
through TSA.
And they all lied to you and told you it was
After
A.
TSA.
Hey, you live and learn, right? You live and learn.
It was good that we had another vehicle there, though. I will
It
say
was
that.
real good. I'm not mad about it. I handle my business. That's what it is. Fuck that airport.
You're analyzing your travel habits, Brian.
Travel.
I'm excited to talk to PBP, by the way. I don't know about you, Beck.
Yeah, it's like the
What time is it? Like 11:30?
Oh
Nah,
my God.
10:30. We're good.
So tired. We had to sit on a field for soccer
Yeah.
earlier today.
I heard all about that.
And then another 2 hours of lacrosse.
Yeah.
Do you know how exhausting it is to be in the cold, just like sitting there in the cold?
Yeah.
You can't do anything.
Yeah.
You're tired.
Yeah, or even fishing in the cold.
Yeah.
No, it's
rather
fishing.
Be fishing.
You're not allowed to be tired
I'd
from
rather
that.
be fishing in the cold than watching lacrosse in the cold. Though.
I'd
tell your
rather
woman
be
that.
doing something in the cold, though. Like if you're doing
you gotta be
something,
active.
yeah.
Yeah.
But to just sit
Yeah.
sucks the life out of you.
Yeah.
It's like your cell phone battery just sucks it right out.
So in the first segment, we talked a little bit about the classic. We got caught up a little bit. How was your classic?
Oh,
Need to hear about it from the head honcho.
They're not fun.
No, just nonstop going.
It's just work. It's
well, yeah.
It's just work. It's just go, 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 go. And I have to be the bad guy.
Right.
So Mike has 1 hour with a sponsor, and then
Right.
he's with another sponsor the next hour.
Right.
Well, so I have to be the bad guy who has to like pull them and move them and run them down, like, you know. I mean, I try to be nice to people. I'm not trying to be
Beck's
mean.
got to be the muscle.
But
Beck and Miss Janet being the muscle at the classics, the funniest thing.
It
is funny.
Yep.
It's funny. The disguises I miss, though. We're going to bring the disguises back at
I
iCast.
totally forgot.
Yeah. Disguises are great.
I know
Yeah.
Dave's like in New Hampshire creating a militia right now or whatever he's doing.
He
But
is.
I just got to say,
Dave!
the
Did you
year
hear from him?
Machine guns.
The year Dave came to the Classic, that was so awesome. I mean, and he drove my truck around Birmingham on less than zero gas multiple times, just creating his own directions.
Creating
in
his
his own
own directions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got the pretzel logic going on. But, dude,
Yep.
it was so fun having him
I
here
loved
and
having
you
him.
guys walking through the
Yeah.
Expo Center wearing fucking costumes.
That
like,
was
So
great.
good.
It was
So
great.
good.
We came across like going from sponsor to sponsor, and this is something only it's like we go up to him and go, "Hey, Ike," and he goes, "The cops are chasing me, run!" and takes off on a beeline down the main drag,
dude.
past
That was
thousands
the
of fans
best.
to get to his next sponsor.
Wearing a
great.
helmet.
No, just
No,
run jersey
no,
on.
this year. You talking
wide
about
open-
this year?
Yeah, this was
No,
this year,
so
yeah.
it was one of those days that we were like running late, you know, and we freaking get
We
to
hadn't
the thing.
anticipated the traffic.
Yeah, the traffic was terrible, so
Oh,
like
yeah, yeah.
I like cut the whole line. The first thing I did
Nice.
was like there was this line 2 miles long to the left. I'm like, oh, screw that.
When we were
Everybody making
driving
a left.
at the light.
I'm at the right. I go all the way up to the front, and there's a cop there standing, and I'm like, fuck it. Vroom, turn that left. He's just like, what the?
Yeah.
Just
Hey.
park, get in there, and then we get there, and I'm running late for a sponsor appearance, and there's this female security guard.
Oh.
She's like, "You gotta have a badge. I've been here. Yes, y'all ain't doing that to me again today. No, you gotta go around." And I'm like, and I just waited for her head to turn that way.
Boom. Hit the hole.
But as I did it, I'm like, "Run, go!" And then she's like,
oh, my
What'd
God.
she say? "I saw your face.
I saw your face.
I'm calling your mother.
Yeah.
I'm calling
The
your
best
mom."
is I had the badges.
Yeah,
They
you're
were
wearing a
in
jersey
my
that
purse.
says your name. I saw your
Yeah,
face.
I saw your face. That big name on the back.
Oh, my God.
Meanwhile,
That
there's
was
a 40-foot
great.
banner in Toyota of you.
Yeah.
His face was in every booth.
Yeah.
She just needed to look around.
It was great.
Sir, are you supposed to be here?
Yeah. Nah, it was awesome. Classic was fun, man. Classic
It
was.
was.
That's
It
what Becky
was.
was saying.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Oh, you said it was bad.
It's not that it's bad. Like people get
It's
to go
busy.
for fun.
No,
and
it's
they get
work.
To,
It's
yeah,
work.
It's
yeah,
work.
it's work.
It's
a lot of work. Sure it is.
That's
Yeah.
like asking somebody like after a week's worth of work, like,
Yeah.
did you have so much fun at work
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
week?
yeah, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
was that like so enjoyable
Yeah,
for you?
it's always a good time, but it is, dude, it's freaking exhausting.
It's exhausting.
It really,
is.
really is. Like
Yeah.
they're really long days, and like just the sheer. You talk to 1,000 people a day, however many it is. It feels like 1,000, but
Yeah.
like just that nonstop interaction.
Yeah,
freaking
because you have to
draws
keep
on
that
you.
energy level.
Yeah.
Up. You know,
Yeah.
that's important. Like for me, it's important. Like
Yup.
you know, you have the line of fans,
Uh-huh.
and you don't want to give any less energy to
Yeah.
the first one than you do to the last one.
Right.
Because they want to, you know what I mean? It's all the same. Like it's important for them.
Yeah.
Like I want to give them the right energy. You know,
yeah,
that takes a lot.
That's
it's a
your
lot.
fan base.
Yeah.
And at BU, we're trying to give free stuff away, and sometimes people don't want free stuff, and like that's hard to understand.
That's because they see Pete and they want to run for the hills.
These people, they're like, yeah, we're fishermen. Oh, well, let me give you something for free. Nope, not me.
You
Find another.
As they're carrying their
Yeah,
food bucket around.
find another sucker for something
Yeah,
for
we
free.
don't want anything free.
I can't deal with it.
Like, dog, I'm trying to help you fish, man.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nope. Can't help me out. Nope.
Now, I have to tell you, it is fun to see a lot of the old faces, like the people we used to travel with and the sponsors that we don't get to see as often. That's always nice.
Yeah.
And it is nice to see all the fans. I mean, it don't
For
get me
sure.
wrong. Like, it's an exhausting week, but it is nice to see all the fans.
Shout out to everybody who came by our booth at the Classic.
Yeah.
You know, like there's a lot of people that went out of their way just to come see like Brian and I.
Yeah.
And like every time somebody comes up to like see like Brian and me or whatever, Brian, you're a celebrity, but like people come to me and they're like, hey, I watched you on the show. I'm like, really?
Brian, how many autographs did you sign at this year's Classic? Be honest. Give me a real number.
Half a dozen?
No.
More than that.
No, give me a real number.
I don't know. Not that many.
20?
No.
30?
No.
25?
50.
Stop it.
Oh, you lie.
You got that many autographs on your boots.
I do,
On
but I
your
do.
boots.
On your boots. Yeah, no, it's a good time. It is exhausting. And people constantly tugging you in different directions. You're like, all right. And then somebody's like this. And then someone they just interrupt you. There's no like, people don't wait. They just poof right in the middle.
Yeah. It's funny. I was telling Beck, I have,
You're awesome at it, Mike.
No,
I give you a lot of credit.
No,
'cause
it's good. It's
I
fun.
can't.
But I was telling
you
Beck, the funny thing is, like, I have meet a million people, and they all say, man, I love the show. I love the show. And it's, I'm always like, oh, what show? You know, because I'm curious.
Yeah.
And it's either Ike Live or City Limits Fishing.
Yeah.
It's nothing else. It's not any of
City
the other
Limits.
shows I've ever done.
Yeah.
You got a new one that just came out too.
Yeah, I mean it's never it's not my world. It's always Ike Live or City Limits Fishing.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
It's the
Did you
realness
talk about
of
the
this.
docuseries?
No, I didn't talk about docuseries.
It's pretty
at all
amazing,
tonight.
by the way.
Love
Oh,
it.
do you like it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Love it.
man.
Oh,
yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, I caught up with it driving to, not flying, driving. I finally
All
had
the more
time.
reason to
So
drive.
that's why
Catch up
you
on
did-
the
yeah,
I
docuseries.
finally had
So
time.
if anyone is looking for the docuseries, it is a 18-part docuseries on YouTube. Mike's YouTube channel comes out every Tuesday.
Mhm.
You can binge watch the first 8. I think we're up to 8 episodes.
Yep.
7 or 8.
Yep. Every Tuesday
it-
it comes out. So it's basically the story of Mike, his version, but he kind of goes into stuff that I don't think you've ever told before.
Yeah. It was cool.
More
It was
than in the book?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
All right.
It was very freeing to talk about some of that stuff. Like it'll be interesting because so far everything was I don't think there was anything so far up to this 8th one that's super controversial.
Right.
But as it goes on,
Okay.
you know, it's going to get
Well, you
interesting.
did the whole lie detector.
The lie detector,
was
I did
already in
that,
there.
you know,
Cool.
but there's going to be a lot all the way up through the divide, the split with when Major League Fishing and Bass happened. And there's going to be a lot of real talk about that. So
Really?
it'll be interesting to hear, you know, if there's negative feedback that comes in from fans or sponsors. I don't know, but we'll see, you know.
I
We'll
got one more if we can go back to the Classic real quick.
Yeah.
I had a guy that got to the arena. He had to be there probably about 12 o'clock because we were getting there about 1. We were like 4th in line. This dude was taking a nap outside the arena, waiting to get a good seat. Gets down into the live well, into the nice seats that are right there, you know, like 10 feet from the stage. Him and his buddy, they were asleep by about the 10th angler in, sitting front row in the nice seats.
Perfect.
And these guys were taking naps by like angler number 10. So when he woke back up by about, I don't know, angler 30, you come out and do the whole throwing the fish and throwing the lures around, and I'm like, yeah, Ike, watch Ike Live, yeah. And he goes, oh, you know him? Are you like family or something? I'm like, yeah, I've seen him, you know, once or twice here and there. And he was telling me all about, I saw Ike in the 03 Classic, and I saw him in 04, and I was here, and I was there, and I'm standing next to his boat while he's wrapping up the one day. Dude, how many of them stories do you get in a day meeting a million people?
A lot. It's cool. No, I get a lot of stories, and it's, you know, like everybody has that moment, and it's cool. It's cool to hear them, It's
Right.
cool to see the memorabilia or hear the stories.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is, like, I don't always remember them. Like, a lot of times people expect, like, hey, do you remember me?
I seen your face.
And I'm like,
No.
from what? But as soon as they say something, like, oh yeah, it was that classic where I was in the back doing this, that, and and I'm like, yeah, and then I can like remember. It's interesting. It's cool, man. It's cool. It's been fun. It's a cool part of it. All right, let's do a quick MTB unboxing first. I think we should do that, and then.
We got Powerbait Paul sitting here.
Yeah, well, let's
Do you
get
want
Paul.
to fold him into the unboxing?
Yeah, let's fold him into the unboxing. I think this will be cool.
Paul, you narrate it.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna do that. Why I'm breaking this open? I'll take a beer, Riz, if you want to get one. As you know, Ike Live is the only live podcast that does an unboxing. Tonight, we're doing an Elite box. And Brian the Carpenter, I love this Elite box.
That's
this
right.
is one of my favorite MTB boxes. And you know the rule. What we're going to do here is we're going to pick a bait. I'm going to pass it down. And, Brian, I think we're going to get Powerbait Paul on, and we can get Paul to also commentate on some of these lure choices that we see in this box. So,
ready for?
Yeah.
One of the best parts about being in this seat on the show is now I'm like I jumped up a spot in the box. You know what I mean? So
Just gonna make Brian mad.
Yeah,
I ain't mad.
Now
I'm
I
out
get one closer to the top pick in the
nice.
box and what's going on.
PB,
I mean,
what's up, Paul?
Dude.
What's up, guys?
Paul.
BB.
All right, there's some cool stuff in here. Joining us on Ike Live, our special correspondent. You know him now because this is, the third or fourth show? Powerbait Paul.
BB.
Joining us here in Ike Live. How you doing tonight, Paul?
What's up?
All right, Paul.
How you guys doing?
Good. We're doing we're doing an added thing with you tonight. We're going to do a little catch up with you in a second, but we decided to bring you on our live unboxing as well. And I would love to just, as we look at some of these lures, I would love to get your thought on them as well, if that's okay with you, Paul.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
Okay. All right. So, Paul, basically, this is what we're doing. We each pick a lure, we pass it around the room, and we analyze the bait. And I'm going to start with this one. The one that caught my eye, this is a 10,000 fish cycle bait underspin. Okay, a fish head spin.
Okay.
But here's why it caught my eye. Brian the Carpenter?
Yes.
I want to show you this.
Show it to me.
This is an underspin that has a Colorado blade on it. But Brian the Carpenter?
Yes.
It has
Looks like
no
Beck's jewelry.
swivel. It has no swivel. It has those chains. Just like that spinnerbait thing that
What
you
was
were
you about to
throwing.
say?
Okay? Let me give me a little close-up of that. Brian, you want to take it, or you want me to show that right there? Look at that. Paul, I don't know if you can see that.
Nobody can hear Mike right now. He's in the microphone on, but
Just look at that.
that's pretty
Just look
wild.
at it.
Yeah, I can't really see it from
Just
there,
look at
Mike.
it.
You just got to look at it,
You just gotta look at it.
Paul. Got to look at it.
You have to go over to the other camera for Paul.
There you go. Perfect. Right there. I mean, it was right there, but okay.
What do you think of that crazy thing, Paul? What do you think of
White
that crazy
color.
thing? The color?
I mean, I would use that for stripers. Just put on like a white paddle tail, 3.8 or 4-inch paddle tail.
Yeah.
Striper bait right there.
Oh,
Striper
yeah.
bait. All right, Brian, real quick before we get on the Beck's choice, there is a theory to that not having a swivel, and it is a true theory. Do you want to give this shit away? Because this is hardcore shit. You want to say it?
Oh, yeah. By the way, so that you're talking about Jimmy Houston when we got the fish with Jimmy last year up on Thousand Islands.
Listen to this, Riz.
That I had a couple of people tell me. Did you say it?
No.
Yeah. Well, your dad saw it.
The Jimmy Houston show came out?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, Roland's footage was definitely out. I don't know if they were together, but people were like, yeah, I saw you on TV.
That's cool. All right, so here's the theory real quick, and then we'll go on the Becks.
Okay.
You ready for this, Paul? This is mind-blowing.
Mind.
All these years, a lure with a swivel, like a spinner bait that has that swivel at the bottom.
Ball bearing.
Right? Ball bearing swivel. You know what I'm talking about? All these years, we're like, you want a spinner bait with a really good swivel where the blade spins.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Let me debunk that theory.
Oh.
You want a spinnerbait with a shit swivel. Or like that. Doesn't even have a swivel. Why?
Ruckus.
Because the harder it is to turn that blade, the more vibration that comes out of that blade. Think about that.
Yeah.
All those years we wanted a good swivel. If you want vibration, you probably want a shitty swivel.
Yeah.
Think about it.
So it's grinding.
It's grinding.
And this don't
It's
even have a
working.
swivel, so it's just like.
It's just working hard, right?
Wildin'.
Yeah. This is like a flat
Right.
tire.
It's
you
like
know,
that-
people have got no air in their tire, but
It's
they
like
still
that
keep driving.
one shad. It's the one shad. It's got like
Yeah.
the loose neck. You know, it's kind of just.
I got a broken neck.
Yeah, they called him Little Loose Neck when he was growing up.
Yeah,
And it's,
little Lucy. Little Lucy. All right, Beck, what do you got?
So I have Bruiser Baits Super Swimmer Junior, but I grabbed it because I like that it's
good
this
color.
like coppery color with almost down
Springtime.
to like a gold belly.
That looks like a Vegas bait at Assunpink next week.
That's why I
Ooh.
pulled it. Stop talking for me.
Oh
Right?
my God! I just talked for Becky. Damn it!
Anyways, I took it for Vegas.
That might win him on the back of a chatterbait. That's over.
uh-oh.
All right, Rizzo, what do you got?
All right. So I got the I'm Allures. Now this thing, it may look like a trap. It is a trap.
It's a trap.
Rattle trap shape. But here's the deal. This is a suspending
Oh!
lipless
Stop
crankbait.
screaming in the microphone.
The best of both worlds here. So this is like, I mean, this is just a money, shad pattern bait. It's got the right profile. Loud knockers in there. I don't know if you can hear it. I just drove a hook into my hand. I'm pretty sure. We've had enough whiskey. I'm not feeling it so much, but
It's National Whiskey Day.
But it suspends. It suspends.
Can
So
I
it's
feel that?
it's the best of both worlds. It's not only a trap.
light.
It's not only a jerk bait. It's both. You can get it in front of those fish and you can keep it there. That's the IMA suspending vibe 70.
This might be another Vegas bait.
Yeah.
Active target.
Paul, have you played with the suspending style rattle trap baits? Have you had any
Honestly,
experience?
man, excuse my voice. I've been getting over a cold this week.
Throwing bangers.
I don't use rattle traps too much because they get snagged too easy from the bank. I'm a bank fisherman, so I do all my fishing from a bank.
Yeah.
I don't throw rattle traps too much because they have a lot of snags, catch like 2 pounds of grass. But a suspending rattle trap, now that is a good idea. I've never actually used one of them before, but that's a good idea.
It's interesting, right? A lot
Yeah,
of South Jersey
definitely
lakes,
different.
it makes sense, to stay over that Black Death and to stay out of the snags.
Right.
Makes a lot
Yeah.
of sense. Awesome. All right, Jake, what do you got? What did you pick?
I got a bait I won't see for about another 3 months in Jersey. I got a Z-Man Elite Frogs, hollow body frog.
Oh,
Okay.
Z-Man
But-
Frog.
But
yeah.
it's black.
Oh,
All right.
Frog.
No white belly on it.
Yeah.
Bri, I hope you're picking what I think you're picking.
That's a good one.
Because there was one in there that if I didn't see that suspending vibe, I was picking.
Now,
I wish I could have
with
picked
the
two.
frog, Jake, hold that up too. We'll show
Fwog.
everybody that.
With the fwog.
Paul, from a bank fisherman's perspective, does a hollow body frog come into play for you at all?
Oh
Especially-
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's all kinds of lily pads and thick muck. You know what I mean? It's like we have all kinds of stuff like that. And Jake was saying that you were saying that won't come into play for another 3 months, but
Oh.
there are busting on topwater in one pond that I fished. I got my first topwater fish of the year Thursday on a wake bait.
What color?
Wow.
What color is the guardrail?
Dude, that's great. Dude,
There
that's
was a guardrail involved, I admit. Yeah.
Hey, do your thing, Paul. Don't let the guardrails slow you down, man.
Yeah, don't let the guardrail.
Ah,
haters
nah,
get
man.
you.
that's crazy.
Guardrails are the best spots for me.
Dude, that's crazy. That's very interesting that top water is happening already.
Yeah.
Because most
Well,
of,
see, listen, Mike.
Yeah.
The thing is,
Listen,
this
Mike.
pond I caught at,
Yeah.
it's a lot different than any other place I fished. It's a very small
Listen
pond. It's
here.
the smallest pond I've ever fished. And the grass, during the summertime, it looks like a Florida pond. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
like the entire surface is covered with grass. Like there's no water visible. And even in the wintertime, the surface is clear, but the grass stays thick, like crazy thick beneath the surface.
Gotcha.
Like it doesn't die down. It's
Right.
crazy.
Gotcha. Wow, that's interesting.
Have to go investigate that.
Yeah, we will have to visit. Brian the Carpenter. Last but not
this
least.
was one box.
One box. This box was loaded,
there's
dude.
so much stuff in it.
Look at all the stuff in there.
Tell me you picked that swim bait. That swim bait looking thing. What'd you pick?
This is a swim bait? I haven't even got to that yet.
I don't know. What's the thing that got hair on it?
I'm not sure.
Fur?
Fur.
It's Lugker Hunt. So
It's got
there's
fur.
No
All
time.
right. What do you got, Brian?
Confer.
Got several
This
things.
box was loaded, by the way.
That's what I was
What a great
getting
MTB mystery tackle box.
All right. I have no idea. Jake?
What would you call that? What is that?
I thought this
That's
was,
the one I'm talking about. I
Yeah.
thought it was a swim bait. No?
I thought it was a senior special, the 10 senior special with the old pull the nose out and it does a
Oh,
little.
yeah.
No.
No.
Dude, I think it's got to be a little shallow crank wake bait.
Is that what it is? It's got a lot of hair on
It's a
it.
glider.
Read
Got
the
it.
directions. All right. So we had that thing. The underspin. I've got some X Zone
All right.
trailers here,
Dude,
which are just,
I'm here to tell you,
yeah, they get it.
they get it.
Yeah.
The X-Zone lures, they have the plastic that floats
Yeah.
on the back of a jig. Legit.
Really?
I'm looking at the camera. Legit.
Well, wait.
Yeah.
It floats?
Yeah.
Is it
100%.
actually? Is it Elastec?
It's not Elastec, but it's floating plastic. It's that's not the exact one that I use, but the I think it's called the adrenaline crawl. Maybe it looks like a trailer, dude.
Okay.
On the back of that jig, and you know that jig, the back of that jig.
The hell is this thing? You know that jig, the back of that jig.
Mm-hmm. On the back of that,
It looks pretty good.
that missile baits,
Yeah.
the compact style
Yeah.
jig. It's legit.
Okay.
I have no idea what this is, but I gotta check it
MTB
out.
made me a buyer of X-Zone lures.
Wow.
And that's a fact.
Yeah, that looks right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yep. I use a scaled down version of that. They make one that's more of like it's only like 2.75 inches, so
Yeah.
it's perfect for a trailer. You don't got to trim it.
Pretty
Real
nice.
deal.
Pretty
Yeah.
nice. All right, Brian. What else you got? Is that it? You got anything
Now I
else?
got some little
thingies.
Biwa baits. Jake, you want to talk about that? Good. This thing, which that's
figure
wild.
that thing out.
We got to
It's a-
throw that around.
It's a 2-foot diver, slow float on pause.
Okay.
Oh, and it's got all them arms out there. like-
Yeah.
See that?
Dying
Undulation?
Chad.
I think actually I could see this hanging from
All right.
Becky's ear.
This reminded me of a good question.
And
yeah,
a couple of jigs.
Oh, he's got some jigs in there. Okay.
Dude.
Finesse style compacts.
Yeah, man.
Is that one with the flat head?
Yeah, take that out.
Skipping, John?
Yeah.
Skip. Take that out there, Skip.
Paul, this is a good question for you. So I've got this X Zone bait in my hand, and it's a green pumpkin, blue flake. Question I want to throw to you, Paul. Color. We got a lot of bank anglers tonight watching here. They can't carry a million baits with them like a boat guy. Give us a breakdown just say top 3 colors that you got to have with you. Soft plastics.
Easy. All right. For starters, green pumpkin, of course.
Yeah.
Red shad, obviously. That's
Ooh.
my go-to color. That's what I
Yeah.
got my biggest bass of the month on. I'll talk about that in a little bit later. And probably number 1, black and blue. Can't go wrong with black and blue.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, ow.
I'd agree with that. I'd agree with the green pumpkin and black and blue. Red shad for sure is an old school color.
Yeah, it
that I
is.
think's making a bit of a comeback. All right, Paul, jump right into it on this big fish. I saw the pictures on Instagram. I know everybody did. Everybody watching also, if I didn't already tell you, go follow Powerbait Paul on Instagram. Check it out. Paul, tell me about the fish. Give it to me.
All right. For starters, Mike, last time I was on the show, you announced that by the time I come back, I might have some big fish news. And that was, I'm going to be honest, I don't normally do good in March. Like, I'm lucky if I get a 3-pounder, just starting my season out.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've ever gotten a 5+ pounder in March.
Whoa. Nice.
You put the pressure on me,
Yeah.
and man, I had to deliver. I had to
Let's get it,
Round of
Paul.
applause for
And
Paul.
listen,
All right.
Listen, that pond I was talking about earlier where I got on my first topwater fish,
Yeah.
that's where I got the big one.
Wow, that
That was
small
the-
pond.
That was the biggest fish I've ever seen in that little pond.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it.
Wow, that's awesome. So it came on a red shad worm or
Yep.
stick
Right
bait
here.
or what?
Right here.
Ooh, what is that?
Gary
thing?
Yamamoto Senko.
Senko red shad. Ooh.
weightless because of how thick that grass is.
Yeah.
If I use like a Texas rig or something, I watch them. It's a good sight fishing pond. It gets lost on the bottom in that grass, and the fish swim over to it, looking around like, where the heck did it go? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this thing here, you know what I mean? It suspends almost like an alternative to an actual jerk bait. You know what I mean? It goes down slower or whatever. You know what I mean? Gives it time for the fish to key in on it.
Yeah.
And that's what got it done.
Yeah. There's something about that red shad color. That's key.
Yep.
I got down with
Brian,
red shad
It is
in a
old
minute.
school.
Brian Kerschel won the classic on a red shad,
Red shad culprit.
back in the day. So red shad has been a staple for a long
sure.
time. I think it's making a bit of a comeback. I really do.
Powerbait Paul bringing it back.
Yeah, bringing it back, man.
Oh yeah, and another thing, one more bait to show off. Trying to stay true to my name. I got a couple 4-pounders, my other 2 big fish of the month, on, boom, Berkeley Chigger Craw, one of your colors.
Labatt.
Oh,
Labatt, or however you pronounce it. The really bright blue ones.
Yeah.
That was a great trailer, 3-inch Chigger Craw trailer, perfect size for my little Strike King Bitsy Bug jigs. 1/8 ounce.
Yeah.
Through that grass, real nice.
Heck yeah.
Bitsy bugging, huh?
Yeah, little compact jig is the deal, man. This is the deal.
Was there any tournaments
He's
when you
here.
caught your big ones?
He's here. My MVPs of the month.
There it is.
Okay.
PB Paul's
All right,
picks.
now, Paul, I got a question for you. We've got April is just about here. Got trout season coming up.
Yep.
Will you? I know a lot of people are in the same situation. Will you be making the switch over to trout here as opening day hits?
All right. Well, the day I met you was the first time I ever caught a rainbow trout.
Wow.
And I was just, last year.
Okay.
I was just trying out something different. You know what I mean? I've never caught trout before. Just want to add new species to my list.
Yeah.
And honestly, I wasn't really that impressed with it. Largemouth bass are way, I'm sorry.
We speak the truth.
Largemouth bass are way more fun.
Please let there be someone from the DNR or state of New Jersey Fish and Wildlife watching. Cold water fishery sucks.
Stock muskie, stock walleye. That's what I want.
You want big fish. You want big game fish. You don't want little trout.
Yeah.
All right.
The vicious predators.
Freshwater
bass,
drum,
pickerel.
shark, anything.
Opening day was in Maryland this past weekend.
Was it?
Yeah, Tom was sending me pics. He went out.
Oh, did they try already?
Yeah.
That's early.
Dude,
March.
he sent me pics of his. They look like it's a picture from the 40s or something. Like
dudes just lined up,
stacked. Yeah, no, the freaking trout. They're like so beat, man. They look, it's like all like soft, no muscle tone.
They're
just
COVID
like,
trout. They're COVID trout.
Like no fins on their tail.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Beat up.
Oh my God, looking like fish in the Northeast after a
Like-
freaking long weekend.
Yes.
3-day hitter, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Like, what were you fishing behind Wawa? You know what I
catching
mean?
old 3-pounder. That's
After
just
the
been
Ike
chewed.
Foundation Pro-Am.
Oh God, that's on a Sunday this year.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Speaking
Wow,
of that,
that's crazy.
that's
Yeah.
coming up quick.
All right, Paul. What
June
else you
5th?
got for us? What else you got? Any other updates?
Well, moving closer to spawn, man. I mean, that female, that big 5+ pounder, that 5.6 pounder I got, she was full of eggs.
Was she? You think she was full of roe? You think she was totally pre-spawned?
Yes,
Yeah.
that was a full belly pre-spawn largemouth.
Yeah.
Yep.
I believe that. Yeah.
What's this Arctic blast we're gonna get tomorrow, do?
Yeah.
How's that gonna affect
yeah,
the ball?
Man, I was
Talk me
out
off
for
a
like
ledge.
20 minutes casting around at that pond, and man, that wind. I'm a diehard angler. I can deal with the cold temperatures. Great time of the year to catch a big perch, big pickerel. But when that cold wind starts beating at your face, I was like, yeah, I'm just getting over a cold myself. So I'm like, I'm not going to try to get sick again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I went home, and I mean, it's just going to put the spawn off even more. And that's what I'm trying to get to,
Yeah.
as a bank angler.
Yeah. It's coming. It looks like a 70-degree day on
Yeah.
Thursday. Maybe a little bit warmer next week.
Yeah,
Following week.
yeah.
So
And then the
it'll
following
be
week
okay.
looks stable.
Yeah.
It does. I actually said that on the last BU show. I was like, yeah, the weather's starting to look stable. Things on the flat
Yeah.
should really start to get good.
Yeah. Now-
Mother Nature said, nah.
Listen,
20-degree nights.
Rich, it's New Jersey. The weather is never stable in New Jersey. You know that.
I know,
Jersey.
man. I can wishful think though.
Dirty
You know?
Jersey.
It was
Oh,
snowing
yeah.
today.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
that.
we had snow today. It was crazy.
Snew.
Awesome.
crazy.
Love it.
Paul, thank you for the
Springtime cold
check-in. Congrats on the 5-pounder. I'm going to task you again. We did in the last one. We said, Paul, we need a big fish. I want to task you with a bigger one than 5. I want you to
He's only human, Michael.
I know he's only human, but he's an Ike Live correspondent for crying out loud. There's a lot of responsibility.
Listen, I'm a bank guy. There's only so much I can do.
Well, I know.
He's just one man.
But it's a lot of responsibility in being an Ike Live correspondent.
All right.
So,
Yeah,
Paul, we tasked you with a bigger one.
Pressure's on.
Pressure's on.
All right.
Hope keeping our fingers crossed for we want a bigger fish next time we talk to you.
All right.
All right, there you have it. Powerbait Paul.
Powerbait
PvP.
Paul.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Yes. Have a good one.
Good night, Paul.
You too.
Okay, Beck, I mentioned it earlier before we wrap this one up. I do want to circle back on the Ike Foundation.
You do realize that Paul doesn't show us pictures of his fish, so these fish can just get bigger and bigger.
No, I actually saw. I did see.
Did he post it?
Yeah,
Oh,
Paul
okay.
posted a picture of the
Oh, yeah.
one
He's
from,
all over.
on Instagram. Let me
He's
see.
on
All
it
right,
now.
all right, I digress.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, Paul did catch that big
Come
one. I
on.
saw a picture of it. All right. Are we? Oh yeah, you're right. Let's real quick an update on the Ike Foundation, and we're going to give away a couple more things, and we're done. All right. What do you got? Ike Foundation. New tournament trail, kids event.
Yeah, so you guys talked about the
We talked
the
about
kids
that.
event.
What do
which
we need?
is
We need some volunteers,
super
right?
exciting. Yeah, we've got a lot of kids signing up that don't have access to boats. So if you are signing up a child and you do have a boat and you have room for another kid. So if you have a full-size bass boat,
Yeah.
you have one child, you have room for a second, please be willing to take another kid out with you and your kid. We also need volunteers. We're keeping the time of these tournaments pretty short. One, kids' attention spans, especially the younger ones, are these all-day tournaments are tough for them. So we're going to be done by like noon so that volunteers don't have to give up their entire day as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Come
please
out in the morning, help
sign
out.
up,
Yep.
theikefoundation.org. I know I sent on Facebook, Jake, the link to the sign up, but you have to sign up to be a volunteer. Please don't just email us or whatever. That's great. We're just going to send you to the link. You've got to fill it out. So please head
fill that
to
out for me, Beck.
to the website.
They're all electric only, right?
They're all electric only.
Electric
yes.
only, but
Yeah.
you can have the gamut of boats. You
Yeah,
can have
yeah.
a John boat to a
Pontoon boat.
big
Lums is
small
idle. Lums is idle only, actually.
Yeah.
You can
Indeed.
idle at Lums. It's
We're
cool.
gonna trolling motor only, electric only, just
Yeah.
because
Gotcha.
we're taking a lot of new kids out, so
Right.
we're trying to keep this as simple as possible.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have the younger group. We're gonna have the high school group. So if there's high school anglers out there, please sign up. I mean, we're gonna have prizes. We want to make this competitive, but we just want to have some fun, get
Yep.
kids on the water.
Yep.
There you have it. All right, Jake. Let's. We're
do
gonna
you
give
do?
away. We're gonna give. Yes, Brian. What do you
No,
got?
say what's protocol when they can't stop getting snagged? And you say don't cast in that tree, but they do anyhow. And
Break it
cast in
off.
that tree.
Out to the middle of the lake, fish
Out
the
to the middle
channel,
of the
creek
lake.
channel, and probably
Alright.
win the tournament out there for
Yeah.
post spawners that aren't being fished for.
All right.
Throw a tail-weighted Senko
Yeah.
out in the middle of the lake.
Yeah.
Smoke a cig.
Let's give away some prizes. We're doing 2 like and share winners tonight. One, of course, for the world famous Ike Live gift bag, and one for the 3rd or 4th Jason Christie sweatshirt. Jake, let's do the bag first. Who's our winner tonight?
The winner of the bag is Jared Shelton.
Jared Shelton.
Let's go.
Let's go. Congrats on the Ike Live gift bag. And then the like and share winner for the Jason Christie AFTCO shirt is
David Brown.
David Brown. Doo-doo
How
Brown.
about it?
David Brown. Congrats. Okay.
We've got a trivia question.
We do have a trivia question for the last Jason Christie hooded sweatshirt. We have a trivia question.
I think we're on 4.
Well, that's okay. And the trivia
words.
The
Yes.
trivia question is.
So we're gonna Facebook, YouTube, and the website, right, Jake?
Yep.
We're ready to go.
Okay.
I got
Facebook,
YouTube.
YouTube, website. Go.
I got YouTube. You got the other 2?
I got the other 2.
All right. Jake, go ahead.
Trivia question is.
What year did AFCO start?
Oh.
We got 2, right?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, we got 2.
Yeah. All right.
We got 2.
What year did AFCO start? And then we have one more sweatshirt. We're going to do 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait,
All right.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Oh, no. You want to wait till we get a winner on this one?
Nah, screw it.
All right.
Shit.
All right. Second trivia question is?
What is the spinning rod bait that Jason Christie used in the classic?
Oh, shit. I can't wait to hear this.
Okay.
He named
What
it.
I don't know.
He
it.
gave it a
rod
name
bait.
on the air during the classic.
Yes.
Okay.
Really?
All right.
Yes,
I
he
missed
named
that.
it while fishing.
All right. There's your 2 questions.
Where's the answers?
First ones to come in on all the outlets is going to win.
Come on, everyone.
That's
Quickly
got a little
now.
cool little flat head on it.
Quickly.
Yeah. It looks like a shaky head, just kind of made into a jig.
Stout hook too.
Yeah.
Reasonably stout.
Mhm.
We have a winner for the AFCO giveaway
Okay.
of a hooded shirt, and the year that AFCO started is 1958.
58.
Whoa!
Great year. What
Man,
a
that's,
year.
That's older than what I would have thought. 58.
Scott Graham.
1 year after the 57 Chevy.
That's the year
actually.
Pete. Wasn't it year Pete was born?
1758.
58.
17.
1740.
Poor Peter.
Shannon Woods. Shannon.
Shannon Woods is our
Got
winner.
another winner?
So you got Scott Graham on the AFCO 1958,
Okay.
1958.
and Shannon Woods with the answer of
Forward-facing sonar minnow.
Forward
That's what it's
facing
called?
sonar
Yeah.
minnow.
FFS minnow.
FFS. Yeah.
FFS
Shannon
Minnow. Who makes that? Is that a
Woods.
yum?
That's a yummer.
Is that our second Shannon as a winner tonight?
Congrats,
I
Shannon.
don't know the answers back.
Congrats,
And we got
Shannon.
a Shelton.
Shelton.
And a-
Shelton and Shannon.
And a Shanae.
And a Shanae. Wow. All right. Well,
Wow.
we did our due diligence. We gave away the 5.
I didn't know Shanae was watching.
Yeah.
Someday.
Yeah.
See you.
Dude, it was a good show. It was a really good show. Want to thank everybody.
Jason
for,
was awesome, dude.
Jason was awesome. Want to thank everybody for tuning in.
So was
Want to
Luke.
thank our guests, Luke Palmer, Jason Christie, 2 great guests. It's great catching up with both those guys. Also want to thank our in-studio crew tonight. Rizzo, thanks. Jake, Brian Carpenter, Beck, thank you for dealing with the Uber crisis and then coming on. Appreciate that.
Way to never give up, Beck.
Don't never give up.
Don't ever, never give up.
Always never give up.
Looks like Brian DeCarpenter, I'm going to call the next show. I'm going to go ahead and give a prediction. We're going to have a show in
July.
April, middle to end of April, and my target guests for the show are Vegas the Hammer in studio and Bobby Lane.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Bobby Lane.
Bobby Lane in studio?
Nah, probably not in studio.
Probably Zoom,
but
okay.
Zoom and Vegas Hammer in studio. So
I would like that.
be a good show. But I want to thank everybody for watching, listening tonight.
By the way,
I'm
Powerbait
stoked.
Paul's that's the his weekly report once a month.
Right.
That's Powerbait Paul's weekly report once a month.
Yeah.
Right. His weekly correspondent
Once a month.
update local report once a month.
That's right. All right.
I'm stoked for Vegas to get back after it this weekend. I'm excited that
For
he's,
Vegas? Oh, yeah,
that
I'm
he's got a
excited for him,
derb this
too.
weekend.
Yeah.
I can't
It was
wait
cool to see him back in his element a little bit. You
Yeah.
know? And like, so we actually practiced twice. We practiced out here
Yeah, just
a day.
get the wheels turning. Yeah.
I like just sat in the back and I wanted to make sure he was doing his thing again in his crawdad.
Yeah.
And then when we went and practiced Assunpink, we practiced in my boat.
Mm-hmm.
But it was cool to see him back in the flow and
That's cool, man.
you know him using some new baits, getting some confidence, some new lures. It
Vegas
was
and I
awesome.
are coming full circle back to
Oh,
being
yeah.
Vegas boat captain.
Yeah, Beck's
So-
going to be the captain.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mike
Saturday.
has FOMO.
What?
Fear of missing out.
What the hell happened here?
Oh,
FOMO.
we just lost our whole Wirecast. Nice.
Oh. Oh, that's cool. That's a good way to end the
Perfect.
show. Brian just lost every preset we have.
I didn't do anything.
He just erased all the presets.
Kind of like how I erased the
All right, so I
soundboard.
take that back. Our next show
Yeah,
might
right.
be July.
Are we even still broadcasting?
Yeah, we are. We're still
Yeah,
green.
We're still
live.
broadcasting, but our presets are gone. Just disappeared.
What the hell happened? All right.
All right.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. Bye. We love you. We might never ever come back.
No,
Our presets are gone.
can't even shut it down.
Can't even shut it off.
This computer's
There's
rad.
not even a preset to shut it off.
I think the computer froze.
Boom, boom, boom.